https://discord.gg/flat-earth. Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Chi Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
Enemy spotted.
24/7 Go Globe Evidence Fishing Part 7.
We could be a little quicker with the guys in this kind of chat. We don't have to listen to other people step in and decide to take control of the conversation. We could just be to the point in here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And it's not being live streamed too, so we can kind of be a bit more, mean, should I say? Or not mean, but a bit more aggressive,
Harsh, aggressive. I am. I'm a bit more harsh and to the point and direct, and this is how it is.
Just a tad.
Hey, laddie.
All right there, son.
Hey, I'll meet you for netting a knock.
Bad
Fuck,
signal
man,
from
you're
the
not-
robot. Like, fuck, bro.
For me, I am.
Right, is my audio okay like that? Can you hear me fine? It's
Yeah,
not
that's
clipping.
perfect.
Yeah, it's
That's
all
perfect.
great right now. Don't do anything different.
No, I turned it up a little bit, just the sensitivity, just to catch any background noise. But I'm hoping that's a good little spot. So nobody provided any evidence yet.
No, someone had airplanes.
Fuck's sake, yeah.
And then he said I was asking stupid questions. 'Cause I asked him, what are you measuring, ground speed or airspeed? He said, and he wouldn't answer me. And then he said, no, we've got distance from Chile to Australia. I said, oh yeah, how'd you get that distance? What do you mean? It's measurable. Oh, okay. Who measured it? I don't know. Not measurable,
all
then,
kinds
is
of
it?
ways to measure. Like in the old days, they used to use a lot of inertial guidance. Today, they use GPS.
Do you know how they used to measure in the water?
Water.
Yeah, they used to hang these ropes out the back of the
Oh no!
Where?
Can you shut up while I'm talking for a sec? Yeah, they used to hang these ropes out the back of the boats, and they guess when the wake from the front of the boat got to the actual end of the rope, that was how they measured. Did you see a problem with that?
What were they measuring?
Distance over water in a boat.
Well, with the motors moving, it's not with reference to
not
land,
accurate,
right?
is it?
So it's a current.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just cared about motion. That's where the term knots come from.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an inaccurate measurement.
Every measurement's inaccurate if you want absolutes.
Yeah, well, there is no absolute in measurements, so.
As good as you can get, though.
Hey, if there's any
Yeah.
globe heads in the room, you have to reveal yourselves.
He's
As
back
soon
again.
as they start speaking, they reveal themselves quite usually.
I have
quite
no issue
easily,
with
so.
that. I'm a glober.
It's not your fault, bro.
Oh,
We're not going to hold it against you.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
We used to be globers as well, man.
Yeah. I used
Most
to
of
love
us-
Star Trek and stuff. Great.
I'd say most flat earthers used to love space and love, finding out shit, because that's the type of people they are, because they want to find out stuff. That's why they eventually find out about the flat stationary earth we inhabit, because they're inquisitive. Well, most flat earthers I've met, anyway, to be honest, as far as I can see.
So what's wrong with being a glober? That's me. I'm a glober.
It's a mental problem, bro. It's like a psychological issue. It causes extreme emotion and visceral fucking emotional outbursts.
Yeah, and hatred
virus.
towards people sometimes.
No, severe hatred.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they fucking despise us.
Mind
Oh, I see.
virus.
Well, I don't hate you.
No,
don't
but
hate
like,
you either.
I mean,
Yet.
the anti-flat earthers, like, once it depends, mate. It depends how much we take away your ball when we speak to you, because it makes people just get a little bit pissed off, and then
Yeah.
gradually they get more and more pissed off, and it wears them down, and eventually they just blow.
Yeah, you haven't
Oh,
talked
I
to us.
see. Yeah,
But
but I
you'll
also get annoyed
hear,
with like children who are very ignorant as well. So
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't get annoyed
Is
with
it
kids.
annoyance or hatred?
it seems
What?
like a
I don't get
hatred to
annoyed
me.
with kids. Who gets annoyed with kids?
Nah,
Because they don't understand something. No, I don't.
Oh well,
definitely.
no. It's if you keep repeating and explaining, then more. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, not children, more like teenagers.
Oh, yeah, that's
Adolescents.
different. Yeah, I got one of them that doesn't. It just goes at the moment. So.
Is this
Yeah,
like,
don't
are
we
there,
all?
is there actually any flat earthers here?
Yes,
Yeah, man.
you're
You
a flat
are.
earther as well, bro. We're not any more a
We're
flat
all
earther
flat
than
Earth.
what you are.
Uh,
So you
okay.
too.
Nice.
Do you experience a flat stationary Earth, bro? That's the question. And if you say that yes, you do, then you're a flat earther.
Let it all out. Let it all out.
If you say no, then you're lying. If you say no,
Yeah.
I don't experience a flat stationary Earth, then that's a complete and utter lie. You've never seen curvature in your entire life, and you've never felt any kind of motion. And don't say earthquakes or looking at the sky.
I've seen curvature.
Where?
Yeah.
When?
I live close to the mountains, so driving from
Right?
the prairies towards the mountains indicates curvature.
No, it doesn't.
How?
I live on
That
a mountain. I
indi-
don't see curvature.
that just indicates
Sorry, just one
perspective,
sec.
mate. That's perspective,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah, no, that's not
Well,
perspective.
I mean,
That's not
bro,
how
I'm from
perspective works.
Scotland, so there's plenty of mountains here. There's plenty of water here, and you don't see curvature over bodies of water. That's the point. 70% of the Earth's surface is said to be water, and we know how it behaves. It doesn't take shapes, doesn't conform to the exterior of moving ones. And it finds
Yeah,
level and it
I
lays flat.
I live on the ocean, mate. I don't see any curvature at all. I spend a lot of
Oh wait,
time out there surfing as well, so there's
do we
none out there, man.
Surfing.
do we have someone in here who's struggling to come to terms with flat water?
Oh, the therapist is here.
We could give you like a saline drip or something that might help you.
So, when I'm driving from the prairies towards the mountain,
Yep.
and I can only see the tippy tops of the mountains
Yeah,
initially, but as I
Yep.
get closer and closer to the mountains, I
yeah.
can see more and more of it.
Angular
But
resolution, dude.
do you expect to see the
Angular.
whole mountain anywhere you are in the world? That would mean anywhere we are, we can see every mountain everywhere. It's a bit ridiculous.
But that's not what I said. No, what I
No,
was
but
saying was,
because
so
you
how
see the
come I can?
effects,
Sounds
bro.
like
You
you got
see,
hills in your road.
Pardon?
Sounds like you got
I missed
hills in
that.
your road.
Hills. So the hills that are way distant. Have you ever driven from the prairies towards the mountains?
Do you know how big do you know where the curvature on the horizon should start? Let's start there. You know the distance where it
Well, I
should
or,
don't know a
start.
specific. No,
or
I don't know a specific distance. I don't know the numbers
How do you
offhand.
know
No.
it's Earth curvature that you're experiencing then?
assumption. You're not
Um,
taking into account there's loads of different optical effects and atmospheric conditions that limit or allow you to see further. Like, so it just depends on the day, depends on the optics, depends
well,
on
I'm familiar
elevation.
with perspective. I'm familiar with perspective and the way that that works. Say you're
Yeah.
looking at an airplane, and as it's flying away, it gets smaller and smaller.
And
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 it'll
then
goes
you can
down.
use the
descend.
telescope,
Also,
and you can use the
bro,
telescope to bring it back into range, right?
bro, if a plane's
Also
going
goes
away
Yeah.
from you, say if plane's travelling away, say at 40,000 feet, and it stays at
Yeah.
that cruising altitude, it will appear to converge towards the central point or the vanishing point. That's what stuff does. It converges and kind of smooshes, so you can no longer see it.
Yeah,
That's why,
but oftentimes the plane will vanish well before it gets anywhere near the horizon.
Right.
Yeah,
because it's
atmospheric
But that,
conditions. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And
kind of
if you
same.
pull out
If it's
binoculars or
vanishing,
whatever, you can see.
like
But you
if it's
cannot
vanishing
see it
before
again.
it gets to, hey, listen, if it's vanishing before it gets to the horizon, then it's not vanishing over a curve.
No.
Kind of like the same way a fly would, like a house fly. You see it
hey,
fly away from you,
Right.
it
And
would
that's how
disappear.
perspective works.
how you doing, crap?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Long
It
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
gets
pretty
smaller and
good,
smaller,
boss.
so you can't see as much of it. Okay,
There's
so we're all on the
also
same page there, right?
angular. Yep. There's also angular resolution as well. So what your eye can resolve. Yeah.
You think of your eye as a tool, and the tool has limitations to it.
Okay, wait, how do you guys think light works with respect to your eye?
Yeah, it's
Goes
a
in.
tool that it receives it. Yeah, but a lot of people like to pretend like your eyes puts things out into the world. No, your eye takes the information in and then processes it.
Right, right. So the light is
Yeah.
coming to your eye, right?
Yeah.
Of
So if
course.
there's a large enough object and the light reflects off of that object, then you'll still
Yep.
see that object. But if the object's too small, it's not going to get as
Then
much
you won't
light.
see it.
The light gets reflected, and then you won't see
Well,
it. Okay.
it'll still reflect the light, but you can't resolve that thing from the other things around it. So your angular resolution is limited to discern between certain objects. So everything just moves together and becomes one big blur. That's how it
Well,
works.
or the light gets scattered within the atmosphere,
Well, no, because it's
right?
coming straight to you. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. All right.
I mean, it
Yeah,
can
but
get
what's that?
scattered throughout the atmosphere depending
Okay.
on. Okay.
So with that in mind,
So you
what
have that
you said.
object. Yeah. So keeping that in mind, let's move, and then you can use binoculars, and you can bring it back into focus, right?
Yeah,
Your plane,
sometimes to a certain point. Yeah,
your
unless there's atmospheric conditions that won't let you. Yep.
right, and
Well,
then
let,
if necessary, use the more. Oh, sorry. Wait till that
let,
siren's passed.
let's
So
ask the
then, after a
question
while, you
then.
have to use a more powerful.
Can I
Well, I
ask the
just want to make sure
question
we're all
first?
Hang on,
No,
man.
I want to make
Asking
sure everyone's on the same page here.
Yeah, I just want to
Would the
understand so
flat
that we
earthers
understand it all the same way.
would the flat earthers agree that a big ass telescope or binoculars has better angular resolution than an eye?
The human eye.
Of course, that's a dumb question.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's why the globalists will tell
no,
you with a powerful enough telescope and enough refraction, there's a guy.
You can see your own ass.
Yeah, you'd see the back of your head. The rumpus, kind of like a famous globalist guy on YouTube, does a lot of experiments and stuff. Have basically said that there is no limit to how far you can see with refraction and a telescope.
Yeah, it's not
No.
our
You would,
plane.
you would literally see the back. He said, I straight up asked him. There's clips of this. I said, Rumpus, could you see the back of your head in the globe? He says, yes, you would see the back
How
of your head.
how can you do that?
Okay, so that's one
Sorry, can
individual.
we get back to the other guy, the first guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
kind of having a good conversation there.
Yeah, he's driving
Yeah,
towards
so
his
I was
mount.
just asking that.
He's driving to his
Okay,
mountain,
shut up.
and he sees the mount. I know. I just wanted to just
Shut the fuck up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just reiterating what I was saying. So basically, we can agree that you can bring an object into focus with a powerful enough object, right? Or telescope.
With limits, yes.
So okay. What would those limits be?
Atmospheric conditions. So you know when you get up and the news says, "Oh, distance you can see 10 kilometers today." Yeah. So whether you
Okay.
have a telescope or not, you can only see 10 kilometers because of atmospheric conditions. Yeah.
Are you sure about
Correct.
Well, it
Yeah. Have you ever watched?
depends.
that? I've
You ever
never
watched the
tested it.
news?
I've never tested it to find out what the
Well, it tells
visibility is
you.
if you can actually see farther.
It
Tells you
tells
your
you on the
visibility.
weather.
Right,
You
but
could
that's with
look
the
at.
naked eye, right?
You could Google it just now. What the
No,
visibility is
not with
like
the
for a
naked.
certain area.
Why would it be only for the naked eye? When you've got a telescope, you can't see through the atmosphere. You can
Oh,
only see
yeah.
what
Okay, I understand.
you
Yeah,
can
no, I
only see
understand what you're
what
saying.
the eye.
So
Hang
basically,
on,
they're just
you
saying the
can only see
visibility
what
is because of
you can
fog.
only see. You can only see what your eye can see, but it's magnified. Correct?
Um, You can only see what your eye can see, but it's not. So if an airplane vanishes, your eye can no longer see it, but then you use a telescope and bring it back into focus.
You can
You're
still
not seeing
see
Possibly.
it. You just can't resolve it.
Okay, maybe
Correct?
we're talking
So if
differently.
okay, one sec. So if the news says that you can today you can only see 10 kilometers. If you take out a telescope, you can still only see 10 kilometers.
Yeah, I
You
understand
can't
what you're
see
saying.
through
They're
the
just talking
atmosphere.
about air conditions. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So that's the limit. But let's say that there's no, there's very little limit. So you're looking at
Okay.
let's get back to my driving towards the mountains, okay? So I'm driving towards the
Mm,
mountains. I can
Yeah,
see the top of the mountain, but I can only
yeah,
see the top of the mountain. I can't see the rest of it.
yeah.
Why can't I see the rest of it?
Because of angular resolution.
Why don't you
But
take
In
your
you,
this,
map that you
if you
drive
have
that
a
you
if you have a
drive?
telescope, though, if you have a telescope which has better angular resolution, which you
you can
admitted,
still only see the
you
top of
can't
the
you
mountain.
can't it looks the
I
same
can
pretty much,
I can
except
guarantee
you just see more
I,
detail, right?
I can guarantee that you can zoom in on that mountain and you can see more with a telescope. 100%.
Not
Well,
more detail,
I've
but you're
never seen
talking
it.
like physically
You
I,
can't
more
I,
of
see
the
I
mountain.
do it.
you can't
I
see
do it
anything
every
more
day
below
across
the
the ocean.
horizon line.
I do it
Yeah,
every
but
day
what are
across
you
the
looking at
ocean.
across the ocean?
I'm
What are you
looking at a
looking at
city.
across the ocean?
I'm looking at a
A city
city.
across. Okay. And
Yeah.
the city, what are you looking
So
at? Like the top of the building?
I look at it. I look at it with my eyes and I see nothing. And then I get out
Right,
my
right.
camera and my P1000 and I zoom in and I see a city.
Okay. So how much of the
Yeah.
city are you seeing?
A
Like
hell
right
of a
down to
lot
the
of it.
water line?
More than what I should. No, you can't resolve that far. It's about 80 kilometers.
So why can't you resolve down to the bottom or the water line? Like
Because
what's
as you
preventing that?
so these things have limits, yeah. So you're only increasing your angular limitation. So as you zoom in, the things that are closest to the surface are still blended together. You can't resolve between the surface and you know what a horizon is, yeah? You know the definition of horizon is where the ground apparently, where the sky apparently meets the sea. So it's an apparent place. It's not actually a physical place. So as you zoom in to where the city is over the water, yeah,
Okay.
you still can only, you've got atmospheric conditions. At the moment, it's cold. It's winter. So the water
Okay.
temperature is about, I'd say the water temperature is about 13 degrees and the air temperature is about 13 degrees, 14 degrees as well. So, you know,
It's pretty
you
clear.
still have, yeah, most of the time, but
Okay.
it's raining most of the time as well, and there's a lot of fog too. So
Hmm.
we have these weird conditions, and
So
then you'll get some warm wind coming from the deserts in the north. So every day is different. But what happens
so
is
there's
you at
atmospheric
the
conditions are
horizon
preventing
where
it.
the city, yeah, atmospheric conditions always occur. So when at the horizon where the city and the water meet, where
Hmm.
that line is closest to the water, you have air disturbances. So you can't resolve if you're looking in a camera, the first millimeter of that camera when you zoom in on 80 kilometers, like that's a big height. Like if you've got something in front of you that's a meter high, like a wave. Yeah, I'm talking. We're doing this at 2 foot off the water. If you've got a wave that's
Hmm.
even 30 centimeters tall, how big's that wave gonna? How much of that city is going to be taken up by that 30 centimeter wave as it gets to
Depends how
85
close it is to
kilometers?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it
exactly.
depends how
Yeah.
close it is to you. If it's
So,
far away,
so
though,
you're
it won't take up much at all, if
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. But how often are you going to have no waves close to you and then waves further away? It doesn't work like that, does it? The
Okay.
waves are the
So,
waves are there. So you're saying we don't see the bottom of the city because of Earth curvature. I'm saying there's many factors that come into play of why we can't see the bottom of the city.
okay, well, let's move back to my example where there isn't water. And the
Okay, well,
mountains
do you
are
know that
vastly larger.
that land that you're coming over is perfectly level?
It's pretty level. Yeah,
What do you
there's
mean
no
pretty
hills in
level?
between.
What's pretty
Like
level?
the elevation is negligible. The
No,
topography is pretty negligible
nothing's
between.
negligible. Not negligible.
It
you got
is
out?
when you're
Have you
going
got
across the
out?
bald ass prairie
No.
towards the mountains.
So why we do it over water is because water lays flat and level when stationary, yeah? When at rest.
But it
So
also has a
when you're
lot
on,
more atmospheric conditions.
yeah, of course, yeah. But when you're on land, you don't know whether that land. You could have a slight hill on that land, and you wouldn't even know about it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
even
a
know.
slight hill wouldn't be. But a slight hill wouldn't be enough to obscure your view of the mountain.
Okay, if you've got a hill over, how far away are these mountains?
I'm wanting to say, just thinking. So from High River to the mountain, a couple 100 kilometers, I would think.
Couple of
That's
hundred
about right.
kilometers.
From
So
High River,
if you've got a
High River
if
to
you've got a
Yes,
the
slight if you've
High
got a
River to the
panther,
slight
mountain.
whatever.
hill,
Yeah.
if you've got a slight
Well,
hill
I
in
mean
the way,
that's not true.
is that gonna?
Yep.
If you've got a slight hill in the way, is that going to obstruct the bottom of the mountain?
I've done that drive actually.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's not the
Yeah,
answer to my
I'm in
question, though.
British Columbia. I have a couple of friends in High River.
Awesome, mate.
Okay.
It's
Anyways,
called High
yeah.
River
So
for a reason.
yeah, right. Wouldn't want to live there. Anyways,
Okay, if you have a
so
small hill going across
yeah, it
there
won't.
and you're 200
Yeah,
kilometers away, it's going to affect
yep.
the bottom of the mountain, isn't it?
Not enough to account for how
Yeah,
much of the mountain is not visible.
of course it is, mate. Don't be
No,
like
it's not.
that. Of course it
The
is.
mountains are too far away. No, the mountains are too far away. Sorry, I
The
mean the
further
hills are too
they
far away for it to be.
did we just
The
go
further away
through
they
this
are,
with
the
the
smaller they
wave?
are.
Did we just
Right.
go through this with the wave? If the
Right.
hill, the wave is closer, it's going to obstruct more of the city. So if you've got this rolling hill that you don't even know is there, if your mountains are 200 kilometers away, the further away they are, the more it's going to obstruct the mountain. Correct?
The further away it is from you, the more it will obstruct. No, the closer it is
The,
to you, the more it will
the
obstruct.
further away the mountains are, the more the hill will obstruct the mountain. Correct?
Depending where the hill is.
No shit.
So where's the hill in respect to this? It's
I got
further.
no idea. Have you proved that there's no hill, or have you proved that it's flat? Do you
I'd
know
have
that
to do
that
all the
prairie is flat?
topography. It's pretty flat. Yeah,
You know,
I've driven it
that's
enough.
what I mean. You know, like you got to look at all these things. Like you can't just go, okay, I'm on a flat road, it must be flat. You actually have to check if these things are flat or not. That's why we do it over water, because there's no mistake. You get me?
No, I understand what you're saying. Unless you've actually been here, I'll have to do
It
the
doesn't
math to
matter,
find
mate.
it. And
All I'm asking is if you know it's perfectly flat or not. Yeah.
it's not perfectly flat, no.
Well, that makes a difference, then, doesn't it?
Not as much as you're suggesting.
What? Okay, but it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Sorry, I'm just
I know
googling a few things.
I know there's a curve because of radio signals.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Dude, Indio's explained this to you like 10 times to Sunday. And you
See, because
constantly reset.
there is no, when it comes to radio signals, you throw out the angular resolution problem.
Dude, I've heard Indio explain this to you about the size of the antennas, the wavelengths, like ad nauseum, over and
Who
over.
explained something to me?
Indio. Yeah, Indio.
I've never talked to Indio. It has nothing to do with the size of the antenna or anything like that at all.
Okay, so can you use radio signals to measure a geometric horizon?
Sure.
Okay, post it.
It's just have a radio that transmits to a car that's driving, and then it
Have you
drives
done it?
away. And then
Have you done it?
no, I don't. I have done that.
You have?
Yeah, I have actually.
Okay, can you share that measurement with us?
share that measure. What measurement do we want to share?
The one that you just said that you've done. Can we get that one?
No, I didn't record it.
Oh, okay. So that's as good as nothing to us.
Oh, no. You see, if you're using high frequency radio in the UHF, VHF band, it's fairly line of sight. So even obstructions will affect it. So if you're in a flat surface, if you're on a flat plane, uh, you won't get that signal until that person gets higher up, right? So, that's why ham radio operators have a lot of repeaters, and they're all on mountains because if they're on a mountain, you can reach a
Okay.
lot further.
So you're saying there's
Because
a
if it was
geometric
a flat,
obstacle. There's a geometric
if
earth
it
curve
was
horizon.
a
Yeah, we understand. So you're saying there's a geometric horizon blocking radio signals, right? One sec. Is that right?
Yeah, because radio signals are line of sight when they're higher frequencies, right?
Right. So you're saying
because
that you lose
radio
that line
is
of sight.
also
You lose that line of sight because the curve blocks it off, right?
yes, because you're dropping below. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I understand the claim. So can you get us a measurement of that curve that's blocking your line of sight?
I don't need to measure it. Why do you need to measure it?
You don't need to.
Yeah, but
Well, that's good because it sounds like you can't.
Yeah, but if that, what's that? Sorry.
Well, that's good that you don't need to, since it sounds like you can't, or else I would imagine you
Well,
would just
I
post
can
the
do it, but
measurement.
I don't need to do it because
Well,
I know what's happening.
why don't you come back and trial this again after you've done it? How about that?
I know. I'm just telling you why I believe it. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to convince
believe.
you.
Yeah, no one asked you.
I know I
The
can't
belief.
convince you.
We're not asking you about your beliefs. We're talking
Well,
about
I'm just
reality
telling you
here.
why I believe it. That's why. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no
I'm
one
know.
not trying to
cares.
convince
We know
you
that you have a
that
belief.
I'm
We're
right
asking.
or anything.
We know you have a belief. We just want the verification for it. That's why we're here. It's okay for you to have a belief. That's fine. We'll leave you alone about that part. But if anybody wants to try to provide verification for what this man believes, then we'll get what we need here.
You know, have you ever gone to a perfectly flat lake and used a laser and done it yourself?
Yep.
No.
Okay. See, I'm just telling you why I believe that it's
Isn't
glow shaped.
that's
That's
funny
all.
though? They go, oh, that's why they have relay towers on top of mountains. No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have them on top of mountains because it's easier line of sight. There's a mountain from me that's quite a distance away. It's
Line of
about
sight.
more than
Did you
100
did you just
kilometers,
hear that?
and I
Did
can
you just hear
I
what you
can
said? Line of sight.
yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. That's why frequency is line of sight, right? In higher
Yeah,
frequencies.
of
So
course.
it's similar to the way a laser works, except laser
So
is in the visible EM spectrum. But
if
what
you
I'm
had a flat
saying is that
if you had a flat
if it
surface,
wasn't
would you put the towers on top of mountains? If you had a flat surface, would you put the towers on top of mountains?
there's no need to put towers on top of mountains.
Why not? Wouldn't the
Well,
mountains
I
block
mean,
the line
if
of
you
sight?
wanted to reach further, yeah, you could put a tower on top of a
Well,
mountain
it's
if
the
it's not
same
a very
reason,
tall
isn't it?
mountain, right? I live in a
It's the
place
same
where
reason, isn't it?
we have mountains that are several thousand kilometers, right? So
Okay, so conclusion is, if you want line of sight, you put towers on mountains.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what's different about that on a flat plane?
Well, if it was on a flat plane, you wouldn't need to, right? You would just
Why?
have to get high enough.
But the
You no no
mountains
no.
would be
You
in the way.
all you'd have to do is get high enough to overcome any obstructions, right, along the
Yeah, but the
way.
mountains would
So
be in the way, wouldn't they? So you'd have to
well,
put them on the top of mountains to get them to places.
what? That makes no sense.
Yes, it does. It's exactly
Well,
the same reason why
well,
you would put them on mountains, wouldn't it?
no, like cell towers. They put like if you go on a cell tower, why can you see so much further and you haven't changed the distance? But you can see more? Why is that?
Because you're raising your view.
Yeah, because you can see
Yeah,
further. That's why. Yeah,
exactly.
obviously. Because
Yeah,
if you're lower down and the radio signals don't reach, right?
yeah,
So
because they're blocked by something, aren't they?
but blocked by what?
Topography.
Yeah, but if you're in a like a prairie or whatever, like the other gentleman, and the only thing are barns and stuff that aren't very tall. Yet if you go up a cell tower to the top of some of
Yeah,
these things, you can see way further. Why is
of
that?
course you can, because you're
Right.
increasing your angular view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. You have less of a curve to obstruct you, right?
Where's the curve? On a prairie, you're saying it's flat.
No,
So,
it's
curve,
not.
so you're
Not
saying
over great.
now
It's
you're saying
it's
that the
flat.
prairie
It's
curves.
flat locally when you're building
You're
a
saying the
house. Oh,
prairie.
sure.
So I just said before that the prairie's curving. That's why you can't see the bottom of the mountain because it's got
That
topography. Yeah.
well, it's
So
not the topography
you're saying the
that's
prairie's
causing it.
flat.
Right?
Is the prairie flat or curved?
If it was flat, you wouldn't need to raise stuff high up. Right.
Why not?
Because it would make no difference, right? Because if it's totally flat, if it's because you said the reason why
Okay.
you
So
can't see
let's
the bottom,
let's
you said the
okay.
reason why
So
you
let's
can't see the reason why you can't see the bottom of the mountain in the case of the prairie thing is because of angular resolution. Now you're changing it. Radios don't suffer from that
I'm not
problem.
changing it. I'm just saying on
No,
a
no,
flat
no. Well, you
plane,
you
you
you use
on a
the
flat
argument
plane
of
you'd raise
yeah,
on a
but you're
flat
using
plane you would
angular
raise it.
resolution. I'm removing that variable, right?
Okay,
By saying
I'm
radio
struggling to
signal.
understand you because if you were on a flat plane, would you not put the aerials up at the highest point where they could receive line of sight?
Say that again.
If you were on a flat plane, would you not
Right,
put the aerials on the highest point so you could get the
right.
best line of
Yeah.
sight? You
Yeah, so you
would,
can be
wouldn't you?
so you can reach
What's the
much further,
difference?
right? Because if it wasn't higher up, you would only reach so far because of the curve.
Where's the curve?
Curve of the surface.
Okay, have you
It's the
got a
same with it's
measurement
the
of
same. It's
this?
the same with
Have you
ships,
got a
right?
measurement? Have you got a
Well,
measurement of the curvature of the Earth?
that's the same of why they have a lookout in the crow's nest, right, at the very top of the mast
Yeah,
in the old
because you're
days.
increasing your angular view, correct?
Yeah, you're getting higher up so you can see more of it because you can look over the curve because the curve's in the way, right? So
You're not looking over the curve. You're
yeah, you
increasing your
are.
angular
That's
view
exactly
so
what
you
you're
can see
doing.
further.
You're increasing what?
You're increasing your angular view so you can see further on a flat
Yeah,
plane. It's
because you
exactly
wanna
the
look
same,
you
mate.
wanna look over the yeah, that's right, because you're looking over the obstruction of the curve, right?
Okay, so then I ask you, where is the curvature of the Earth? Do you have a direct measurement of it?
I don't have one, I don't need one,
So why are you claiming it then?
because I use radio equipment and I also,
We
can
just
ma
we just established if
y
you're on a flat plane,
I
you'd have
don't I
towers on high points.
well, they do that on purpose because of the curve, so you can get a lot further, right?
But you just agreed that if you were on a flat plane, you'd put radio towers on high points so you can increase
No, if you're
your line,
in a
so you
yeah,
can
but if you're in
increase
a
your line of sight. Can you just let me finish? You just agreed that if you were on a flat plane, you would put towers up on the highest points to increase your line of sight, correct?
no, you're not
To get a
increasing your
better
line of
line of
sight.
sight.
You're looking over the obstructions, which is the curve in the case of a flat plane.
So is your prairie curved?
Yes,
Your prairie's curved now.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I believe in the globe Earth.
So what about, so how many flat surfaces do you have on a globe?
On
Flat.
Kickstarter right now, you got the William Shatner NASA limited edition meteorite pocket watch. Only 40. Like,
I don't, I don't know what's this got to do with anything, but
well, I mean, William Shatner is one of the biggest spokespersons that NASA's ever had. So you've got his limited edition
NASA.
watch.
Why would Shatner be the spokesperson?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Why they do.
I
If I knew what
I
NASA
would
did, if
I
I
would
knew
think
why NASA did what it did, I would. I guess they hire celebrities because celebrities are cool.
I know, but I would, I don't look to Shatner for NASA. I look to
Well, you should. He's their spokesperson.
Massimo Felucci, whatever his name is, that astronaut, Chris Hadfield from, the Canadian guy that did the song. I wouldn't consider William Shatner is a frickin' fiction guy. He's an actor. He never
Yeah,
did
they
any of
all
that
are
stuff.
Star
actually.
Trek
Well,
one,
no, well, you could
Captain Kirk.
say that, right? What you're suggesting is
Four
that
hundred and
the
fifteen
ISS
dollars.
isn't real, right? I mean, you could
No, it's
say
not.
that there's nobody on board, but I've seen the
Definitely not real.
ISS go across it with a big ass telescope, and I've also my
Oh,
neighbor has a big ass telescope, and I have
oh,
a radio
bro.
equipment. I can measure the beacon that's coming out of the ISS, and I've done that, and you can even
Hey,
measure the Doppler effect of the speed,
but
right?
there's
Because they
no way
fly
to
by pretty
tell.
fast. So.
But there's no way to tell that there's people in that, and that it's an
Oh, no,
aluminium tin
I don't
can
claim
in the
there is, but
thermosphere.
it does have a radio signal in it, so I can
Well, I
point
get
my,
that.
point my directional antenna at it
Of course.
and hear it, so.
But then when we look at the footage that comes from the ISS, I mean, they're a bunch of jokers, bro. They're hanging on wires. They've got harnesses on. They do spacewalks. Bubbles rise from their
I'm
suit.
not talking about that at all. I'm
No, but
talking
that's what I'm
about
saying. But we can see some.
pointing at where the ISS is supposed to be. My neighbor has a big
We
ass
can see something.
telescope,
I'm
and
agreeing with you, bro. I'm agreeing
he
with
can
you.
track it. He can see it
You said that.
through his telescope, right? But
Yeah,
I
you
can
said that.
also get the signal from
Yeah,
the
I agree with you,
on
bro.
radio
We agree.
signal.
But then, bro, then there's the is that possible to be in the place, the medium that is claimed to be in the thermosphere, traveling at 17,500 miles per hour, and with people in it? I mean,
Well, it travels that
there's no way
fast.
of
You can
linking the
measure
two
it.
together.
If it's putting out a radio signal, you can measure the Doppler effect, so you
But
know how fast it's going.
but you said that, yeah, you've said all these things repeatedly, bro. But that's not proven that this thing is actually in a medium and existing in a place that's against the second law. I mean, entropy must increase. Earth is an open system enveloped
What?
by
Hang
a
on.
near perfect
What's does
vacuum.
entropy have to do with what I'm talking about?
Well, does entropy increase in an open system? Well, it's not what you're
Well,
talking about, but
yeah,
you've
but what
already
does
said what
entropy
you're
have
talking
to
about.
do with measuring the
Because
speed
because the
of the
ISS. No,
ISS,
but you've
right?
already said that, bro. We've agreed with you. You've said what you've said multiple times. I've agreed with you. There's something in the sky. It can be tracked. You can get an app on your phone
Yeah,
that can tell you where the ISS is. If you're lucky to see
why
it,
can I
you
only
might see it.
track it for while it's above the horizon? Because if it's flat and it's
Because
supposed
it's
to be
gone.
so high up, why can't I see it really far away? But when it goes below the horizon, I can't see it. Why is that?
But who knows what it is? But we're saying to you, it
Mm,
cannot exist in the medium that's claimed. That's the point. Space literally
it's because
cannot be as they claim it.
I can only get a signal from it for about 15 minutes. Right?
Right.
Why is that?
And but does that mean that space is a vacuum that envelops a pressurized system, and it goes
Well,
against
I don't.
natural laws, gas laws?
I'm not talking about whether it's a vacuum or anything.
I am, I am, bro. That's the
Why?
point of this
Why?
room
I'm
is
not
to
talking about it.
discuss the shape and motion
I'm
of the
talking
earth.
about an object that is way up
Right, and we
there
agree,
that
bro.
flies at
Right, how
really
many
high
times,
speed because
bro?
you can measure that
I
with the
agree with
radio
you. I
signal and the
agree with
Doppler
you.
effect,
There's no argument, bro.
and it's only there for 6 minutes or 10 minutes,
Right,
I
so
think.
bro, there is
Six
no
minutes
argument.
for a
We see
radio signal
something,
because it's
it can be tracked. I agree with you. I believe that you've done what you've done. But space cannot be a vacuum enveloping a bubble of pressurized gas. Unless you can show me gas pressure without containment.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
I
not talking
am,
about
bro.
whether it's in a
I
vacuum
am.
or not.
Bro, I am. I am. I
Yeah,
am.
why?
Can I say it
Why?
like 7 times? Is that enough?
What does that demonstrate?
Because that's the point.
So the thing isn't
You're
going as fast
claiming
as
that
you
this
claim,
thing.
as it's claimed. You don't as it can be measured too. You're saying it doesn't do that. You already said it's going that
A
fast. Do you
robot for
agree that
me,
it's
man.
going that fast?
Who cares?
Mm.
Does it really matter?
Well, it does matter, right?
If space literally cannot exist, then the
So
ISS
so
cannot be what it's
so do you
claimed to
got
be.
so
So what you're saying
what
is irrelevant.
let's try this. What's the diameter of the flat round plane
You're
of
breaking
the
up,
Earth?
man, for me. I don't know if that's for everyone.
He wanted to know the diameter of a flat and round plane.
Yeah. What's
Is
the
he breaking up
diameter?
for you? Because I can barely hear anything he's saying.
The other guy you can't hear
Correct.
either?
Yeah,
Can you hear him?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. Yeah, he wanted to know what a diameter of a flat and round plane is.
Of the
I mean,
Earth. What is it?
well, I mean, we've not measured it, man. Like, how we got the ability and the equipment and the resources and the training and oh my god, the amount of stuff you would need to verify all these land masses, where they are in conjunction to other land masses. We've got maps, you can navigate with them, but to say we know specifically
Well, if you
100%
have a
where
map,
and what,
you would have to know the distance, otherwise the map's useless.
which map, you can navigate with lots of different types
Whichever
of
one.
maps.
I don't pick the map
I
that
don't know.
represents the your
How
model.
can we verify it? We've not got a model, and we can't verify
You
any
don't
of the
have a
maps.
model. If you don't have a
No,
model, how can you navigate then?
you need a model to navigate.
Oh yeah, you need a model
What?
that's what a map is a representation, right?
There's no
Of the
model,
surface, right? A model, I mean,
right?
in the
So
broad sense, right?
lots of different maps can be used to navigate, even though they're
Well,
like
what
radically
about a
different. If you've
global
got a
map then?
system,
What about a global
well,
map?
I mean, there's loads. Get globe projections. We could give you a globe projection if you want. Like, but that's not us saying this is the map. This is specifically what is 100%. We're not trying to say that, man. We're not trying to make claims.
Yeah, so the flat earthers don't have a model, they're just claiming the globe model isn't correct. That's what they're saying.
Falsifications end from
So
replacement.
there's other things too, like for example, if you do a time exposure in the north and you see the North Star, you can see the stars rotating in a clockwise direction, and or is it counterclockwise? Anyways, and if you look at the Southern Cross, which is the center of axes on a ball, if you believe that, and sure enough, it rotates the other direction, and that can only happen on a ball, right? So you can do that experiment yourself with a simple camera, or you can get a buddy. Or I think there was a guy that was in here earlier. He was in Australia, so he can take his camera, or even a
Yeah,
digital camera.
Timbo's
Right?
from Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah. So
He'll tell you all the time, so it's not like I'm releasing
yeah. So
something.
he could take he can point it at the Southern Cross and do a time exposure, and you'll see the stars. The trail of the stars is the opposite direction than it is in the northern part of the ball. So why is that? That can only happen on a ball. So that's an experiment two people can do with, that don't need any money or anything. They can do it right in the evening on a clear night, and they can do it together, and then just show each other the pictures using the internet. Go whoa, or the little video. It doesn't even have to be. It only needs to be an hour or something. So yeah, and lots of people have done it. It's not like it's a new thing or anything, but you can prove it to yourself. So if two flat earthers want to do that together, they can do it themselves. They don't need much of anything. Most people already have a phone, right? So
What can we do? What can we do? Sorry,
He
I
said you can
had to
change the
disconnect.
way things rotate based on your heading.
no. You know where the Southern Cross is, because that's the point that doesn't move much, right? They use it for navigation in the southern hemisphere, if you believe in the globe Earth, right? So we can
Yeah,
test
look that
the
up
globe
again.
model. We're just testing the globe model to determine
Yeah, but
because
it actually moves in the
it's
globe model.
predictable.
Yeah, they don't use the southern celestial pole for navigation like they do for the
Well, they
North
do
Star.
though, if you're
No, go
down
look it
there.
up. Yeah, go look that up.
What do they use
There's
then?
no, we use Sigma Octantis.
They use the North Star that they can't see.
There's no Sigma Octantis.
So
You
what
can't
would
see
they
anything.
use in the south then? If you're in the southern hemisphere, what would they use to navigate down in
So I'm saying, do they
Australia?
not use Sigma Octantis? Because it's the point where the southern stars appear to rotate around, is it not?
Yeah, well, it's the point to where the axis of the globe is pointing right in the south, right? So, but only if you believe that, of course. But you can test that model.
Well,
Then you can test the globe
well,
model. Say if
well,
it's a ball and
people
the
have.
axis is pointing toward the southern cross and the southern axis, and then the north geographical axis points towards the North Star, and then you can just set a camera and point to there, and then do an hour time
Why?
lapse, and you'll see the rotation is the
Why
opposite,
not
right?
just?
It can only happen on a ball.
Why do you not just? Why do you not just stick to the Earth and trying to prove the convexity of the Earth's surface rather than pointing up in the stars and affirming the consequent, or begging the
Well,
question, or whatever you want to do?
well,
It
that
doesn't beg the
that is
question what it.
truth.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you
just
gotta
no.
change the way you face.
All it is all you're doing is say if the glober believes it's a globe, I will, and this is the axis pointing towards these two locations. And if I have a camera and it rotates the opposite direction, it demonstrates that it can only
You're
happen
facing
on
the
a
wrong
ball.
way. You're facing the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not
yeah,
how it works. So
yeah, but you
clockwise
are
is
facing the
clockwise,
opposite
despite.
direction, right?
Yeah, everything in the sky moves east to west. And if you change your facing, if you're facing north, then east to west is counterclockwise. And
Yeah,
you're
but we're
It's
facing
point.
just.
Yeah, but
south,
that's why we're
if
using a
you're
reference,
facing
though.
south, then it's clockwise.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
No,
depends
it's
on
just
your
the same,
facing. You just turn,
bro.
just do an about face, and
Yeah,
then
that's
you've
not
debunked the globe.
Bro,
that's not
there's a
how this
simple
works.
analogy, bro. All you need is if you're standing on a road watching a car coming from your left, and you cross the road and turn around, the car appears to be coming from the opposite side again. But you know you've just changed orientation.
No,
The
that is
car's
literally
still
not
coming the
how,
same way.
that is not an analogy that matches.
All stars go east to west, bro. Ask
East to
anyone,
west, yeah.
wherever they live, all stars go east to west. The
All
stars don't
night
just
long.
magically start changing direction. Like the stars are all going as they go. It's not like
Yeah,
they
you
get to
just
the
don't
equator
face
and
south and
look.
suddenly it's going west to east.
Well, why not prove the radius or
The
motion?
sun still goes, even if you're in the south, still goes from east to west, right?
Everything does.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
changing your facing
if you
doesn't make it
consider
go the opposite
yeah, but if you
direction.
consider the axis of a sphere, the north and south, the axis through the center of its rotation, if you believe all that stuff, don't believe it, but if you want to test that claim, that's how you do it because the globe Earth claim is that these axes point to the two sets of stars, and the only reason why they can be in a different direction because you can't apparently see the North Star, past the equator or whatever,
It's
right?
been
So
claimed to be. There's many people said that they've seen the North
yeah, well,
Star below the equator.
so since yeah, so but the thing is, it's
No,
funny that why does it rotate around in the south, rotate around the Southern Cross,
Yeah,
bro,
and
change
in
your
the north
bro,
facing.
rotates
Face north.
around.
bro,
Yeah, so if you
bro.
change your
How can
facing,
the
it still goes
Yeah,
clockwise or
but on
No,
a
it
counterclockwise.
flat
doesn't.
surface, if you
it goes
in a
east to
flat
west, bro?
surface, there should be no stars that you could rotate around if it's flat. If
You
you're
just
facing
Why?
lift your
south,
hands
right?
up in the air, or you could write on your left hand, put a big E, a big letter E, and on your right
No,
hand,
no,
put a
I
big
know that when
letter
you face
W.
the other, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, if you're facing, it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, all you
Yeah,
gotta
No, it
do,
seems to be.
all you gotta do is have a black marker, and then know which way north is, and know which way south is.
Yes,
That's
if
all
you
you need.
rotate yourself, sure. I'm not talking about rotating yourself. I'm talking about looking at a fixed point for reference.
Yeah, which would be
I'm not
north or
talking
south.
about it has nothing to do with the person,
You're
right? We're trying to
facing.
even remove the person out of the you move that variable, right?
Yeah, the
You don't want to
facing.
cloud it with that.
Which way you're facing is important.
Yeah, but if it's on
That's
if
a
you looked at
variable you'd have to account for.
right, but if you were, say, in the northern hemisphere, flat surface, and you can see the northern star, and you see the stars, other stars rotating around it throughout the night, right? Then, um, uh,
East to west.
but then if you face south, and get close enough so you can see the Southern Cross, why does it rotate around that? That makes no sense. Even if you turned
Yeah, you turn the other
you
way.
could, in theory, you shouldn't
East
be
to
able to
west.
see. Yeah, but in theory, on a flat surface,
East to
those
west. That's the part you're missing. Everything in the sky moves east to west. You can get it to change clockwise or counterclockwise
that's
based
not the
on
point. Not the
your 12
point.
o'clock.
Not the point. There's only on a flat
East to west.
surface. On a
On
flat
east to
surface.
west.
On a flat surface, we don't care about east to west
Yeah,
or
yeah.
west. It makes no
Yeah,
difference.
when
But on a flat,
east,
no,
everything in the sky
no,
moves
you're
one
not.
direction.
You keep cutting me off. If you
Yeah, you're not
if you
listening, dude.
have
You're
if
not
you're
listening
on
to
a
him.
flat surface and that flat surface is turning, right? Is it turning or not turning? Or are the
Yeah, figure
stars
that
turning
out.
or not turning?
I
Right?
say the sky moves. I see the sky
Okay,
move.
so
And the sky
the
moves
sky, so
east
in the sky,
to west.
in the flat model, right? But in the
Yeah,
sky, in the flat
east
model,
Who's
to
claiming
west.
a model?
the stars
Who's
go
claiming a
around.
model, bro? You keep saying on the flat model.
Yeah,
This
he's
is on the
spiraling
flat model.
hard.
Well, I mean, you
You've
have to
got
have a
you've got
model,
an
or otherwise,
idea,
if you don't
bro,
have a model and
bro,
can't
bro.
explain it, it's not
But
true.
Yeah, east to west. I
models are
explained it.
reification fallacies, bro. They're not scientific. We're not making claims about stuff. The base fucking statement is we're not moving. There doesn't appear to be any convexity. So, like claiming stuff in the sky, I mean that's beside the point. The point is the Earth is not
Well,
moving. It's not convex.
that's why early astronomers and things knew that the Earth was a sphere because it can only be explained with a
It's a
sphere
nice
model.
story, man.
Can't be
It's
explained
a
with a
nice
flat
story.
model.
Yeah, you can just
But
walk
nobody,
into
we're
any
not claiming a
planetarium.
model.
Any planetarium will help you understand this. Just walk into a planetarium. You're on a flat baseline with a domed ceiling. Sit back in your chair, look up at the sky, then just imagine the ceiling being removed, and you just see it.
Imagine
The
what?
planetarium,
What's
all the
what's
planetarium does is allow you to change location very quickly. You don't have to go to different spots to see what the
what
ceiling
happens
looks
in
like.
a planet? What happens in a planetarium? What are you talking about?
Yeah, planetarium.
What happens?
Yeah, that would be if you need a model to
No. What
understand
you're
how the
saying,
sky. Yeah,
what you're saying is no. You
I'm
go to
telling you
planetarium.
what to do.
You
You're
explain
not
something. You
listening.
go to planetarium.
If you
You sit
need a
back in your
model,
chair, and
yeah,
then what
if you
happens?
need a model of what the sky would look like on a flat surface, walk into a planetarium. The scientist will explain it down to the last detail. You can
I
ask
don't.
all the questions you want. You could be like, "Hey, is this floor curved?"
The
He'll
scientist
show
is
you
saying
no.
this. They're saying
He'll
that
tell you no. The floor is flat, and here the ceiling is a domed ceiling, and he'll explain it all for you down to the last detail.
no,
There'll
I
be
know I've
no
been to a
doubt in your
planetarium,
mind
but I
that
don't.
planetariums work. Okay, a
I've been to
planetarium is
planetariums. I
workable.
know how they work, but you're
That
not
you
explaining
don't
how
get
they
it.
work. How do they work?
Yeah, go there, and the scientist will help you.
Yeah, but how did I know how they work?
Then you wouldn't ask me. If you knew
There's
No,
no.
I'm
something,
asking.
you
You're
wouldn't ask me.
explaining something that doesn't
Yeah,
make
and
sense because it
is
doesn't
go to a
comport to
planetarium.
how I know
Well,
planetariums work. What are you trying to
on a
tell me?
flat surface, black people commit 50% of crimes, so it's proven that the flat Earth is real.
Wait, why is you
That's
telling the
pretty
truth
funny.
though?
Yeah, it's kind of a dark worldview, man.
Because if the stars moved around the
Yep, the
pole,
stars move.
and you were down, say you were in North America part, and you can see that. Then if you go to Australia, why can't you see the North Star?
Yeah, the stars move.
Yeah, but why can't you see the North Star? Why can't you see
Yeah,
the
think
same
about it.
rotation around the North Star
Why
Far
wouldn't
away,
you
from
see that?
Australia? Because he can't see
because you're
it. The
too far away
Australian
from
guy
it, bro.
can't see the North
Bro,
Star.
bro, some people have seen the North Star below the equator. If you Google it, you'll see for ancient mariners, literally centuries old stories about it. I've never done it myself, but people do say it depends on the conditions, man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about quite a ways from the equator. None of this diffraction stuff or whatever, because it's so low in the sky that
Because
it's
you're
cutting through atmosphere.
because
I'm
you're
talking about so far from the equator, even below the Tropic of Capricorn. Right, so
you're bro, you're
you
too
know,
far away from it,
Australia.
man.
Yeah, Australia. You know, if you go to Melbourne, which is quite a way south in Australia, right? So he's in the southern part of Australia. He's so far away from the equator, he cannot see the North Star at all.
But we're too far away from it. If you're in a huge, like a massive fucking like industrial building and you draw something on the roof at one side and you walk away from it, eventually it'll keep descending towards the horizon as the angle's decreasing as you're looking at it, and then eventually you'll not see it.
I'm aware. I'm aware you're saying that, but we're throwing all that out. I'm talking about
Why?
stars in the sky because if you actually look from Australia and you say, well, hang on a second, if I look to the south, the stars are rotating around this thing called the Southern Cross.
Right? Well, no,
The
rune
Right?
stars,
sigma octantis.
How's that possible on a flat plane?
stars
Bro,
move.
what's that got to do with what I said? You're just repeating and regurgitating the same thing over and over again, hoping
He's
that the
gonna
shit
do
that
this.
you're
He'll
throwing
just
will
keep
stick.
resetting.
What do you mean? We don't claim a model, so whatever you think the flat earth should or should
No,
not do
I'm not
in
saying
your
you
mind,
are.
and you're
I'm
just
just.
cutting me off
Are
again.
you are
You're
you
still
saying
cutting me
that
off, bro.
you're
How can you
saying that
hear what I'm saying, bro? How can
you
you hear
think
what I'm saying if
do
you're
you
talking over me? How can you
so it's
hear?
not a
You're just waiting to talk. You're
so
still
there's
doing it just
no
now.
flat
You're
round
still
disc then.
talking, bro. Nobody claimed a fucking disc, man. That's the Flat Earth Society rhetoric. They're controlled opposition.
Flatter
They're
society. What are you talking
disinformation.
about?
That's what the disc idea that you've got in your brain. That's why you
Yeah,
keep
like a
I
fucking
giant,
don't know
saying the
anything
same
about the
thing.
flat Earth society.
a
What are you
You
talking
giant
just said
about?
a
space
disc.
pizza.
You just mentioned
That's
a
a flat
disc.
Earth society.
That disc nonsense is pushed by the Flat Earth Society. We don't claim discs accelerating upwards. We don't claim motion.
I'm not claiming any of that.
You just mentioned a
I,
disc. You said
no,
so. You're
no,
not claiming
no,
a
no, no,
disc.
no. What I'm claiming is if you go to Australia, you can
Oh
say,
my
hey,
god, you're
there's a
saying the
star,
same thing, bro. We can
there's a
hear
set of
you,
stars
He's
bro.
right there.
You
resetting.
keep
Bro,
repeating that. You just
we
keep
can
Yeah,
repeating
hear
it.
you. We can
he
actually
keeps.
hear you. You don't have to repeat yourself. We
Just
can
this is
hear
what the
you.
Glovers do, man. They
You're
just repeat
talking
themselves.
over us, so you can't hear a fucking thing that's getting said, bro. Fuck's sake, man. We agree. You can't see it. When you get further away, there's loads of fucking reasons why you can't see it. Doesn't mean that a flat Earth model doesn't work because we're not claiming one.
No, I know that. I didn't say
You
that.
don't. You claimed a disc. You say so. You're not claiming a disc. And I said
No,
no.
what I'm claiming, the observation only demonstrates that's possible on a globe model is what
You've
I'm
said
saying.
that,
Okay.
bro. We've heard you, man. We've heard you. We've
Yeah,
heard you.
yeah,
We've
that's what
heard
I
you.
say. What other
Only
model can
Right.
possible.
explain it?
We
Let's
never
take
claimed a
that.
model.
No,
Let's
I know
take that.
that. I'm
It's
asking
only
what other
possible on a
models
globe
by
Earth.
this
Oh,
figure
Okay.
can claim.
You're not going to keep talking through me.
this is like
Let's
root
take
treatment.
that. It's only possible on a globe Earth for this phenomenon in the sky to happen as we see it happening. If that's the case and you're correct in that assertion that it's only possible on a globe Earth, then the Earth is a globe. And as a consequence of that, it'll definitely have tangible, measurable surface curvature drop over distance, and every ocean on its surface must be convex. Can you provide us a measurement of any of that?
Ooh, this is good. Let's follow
Boris,
his logic to full
Boris,
conclusion.
yeah. Boris was really happy to hog the mic until I asked him that question. You could take the floor now.
Floor for what?
Oh,
Show your curvature.
I'm not the one that does this stuff. Scientists do that.
Oh shit.
okay. Then get one of them in here to argue for you, because you're not the one.
I don't need to. I'm just telling you that from the perspective
We've
of
heard you, bro.
observations, because I've
We've
been to
heard this
Australia.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
man.
made the same blind assertion on repeat, and then when you're called to verify it, you go, "Well, I'm not the one." Well, okay, leave it to someone who is, I guess.
Please. Or
No, I
get
make
someone in here who's
observations for
But
myself.
bro, making observations is great, and I'm glad you're out there actually doing stuff. Like it's more than most people do. Most people just sit here arguing and don't do shit. So I'm glad you are doing shit. But at the end of the day, bro, the Earth is not moving. If these constellations they remain as they've always have done, how can that possibly be with the amount of different vectors that the Earth's supposedly barreling through space? These constellations have been the same for thousands of years.
It's because of how far away they are.
That makes it even worse. The further away, the slightest motion wherever you're standing trying to view something, the slightest motion, the more distance they are away, it's going to completely fuck up what you see. Think about it, man.
Not true at all.
Of course
Yeah,
it
a
is, man.
longer range shot, like a sniper shot. If it's
Yeah, man.
close by, if you're just gonna fire your pistol right into your computer screen, you got a lot of room there to move around. You're steady. You don't need to be that steady. But then
Yeah,
you
man.
move that computer screen 50 feet away, 100 feet away, 1,000 feet away.
Yeah,
Just
man.
the slightest movement will throw your shot off. You'll miss.
For sure. That's a good analogy, Kurt. No comment, bro.
Yeah, I think he got a little confused there by that. He thought that something further away would stay fixed if it's moving.
Yeah,
It
well,
just shows you the Earth
So
is
if
the
stationary.
something's
North Star is pretty fixed, so.
Yeah, how's that possible?
Exactly.
Moving.
Exactly. If it was only one motion, if the Earth was only moving in one motion, then I could agree everything would be simultaneously moving, and that would be fair enough. But adding all the different vectors that the Earth is supposedly doing, and that over thousands of years, it's impossible, man. The sky would be different every night, let alone every month or year.
I think no. Yeah.
I
I just can't
think-
explain that one to you, unfortunately. I don't think you can get it.
Get what?
That something being really far away would make it more fixed.
Well, the analogy Crit just gave you with a sniper, if you're shooting right in front of you, then you can be a bit left or right and it doesn't really matter. Eh? Put in a healthy amount of distance. The further the distance, the slightest fucking difference of your shot is going to affect it. But if you're
What's
close,
interesting?
no.
What's interesting about this too, if you look up claims in the globe model, they have this giant dam, like the Three Gorges Dam in China, that supposedly slowed the rotation of the Earth. It made the day and night longer. Like instead of 24 hours, now it's more than 24 hours. Then on top of that, they also told you they pumped so much water out of the ground and displaced it into the atmosphere that Earth wobbles. It's no longer balanced. So you've got this wobbling and slowing down. Like, so man caused changes in the heliocentric model, but yet the stars remain unchanged. Two variables that should have changed the way the stars look, and it didn't. Because the Earth was stationary. It wasn't moving to begin with. So it couldn't slow down. It couldn't speed up or slow down. And since it's not on an axis, it couldn't wobble. They could tell you, oh, pumping groundwater out of the Earth will make the Earth wobble. No. It 0 times X factor of wobble equals 0. There's no tilt to worry about wobble.
Your Earth wobble. You're going to need a globe for that.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you give them the globe, you say, here's your globe, you've got it wobbling. Now show me how that affected the stars. Oh, it didn't. Huh.
Shoot.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, does the declination
Wait.
of Polaris shift throughout the year? No, of course it doesn't.
What are you talking about?
He's saying that the declination to stars like Polaris doesn't shift throughout the year because of the supposed wobble, which is true.
Well,
because there is no wobble.
the
Why would it
North Star
shift?
isn't perfect.
The Earth's rotation is independent from its orbit. Why
What
would it
rotation?
change?
What rotation?
He
was talking about wobble. But what
rotation and revolution are two different things, is what he's saying.
That's nice, but he was talking about wobble and what rotation? Measured how?
They can measure the
Jesus fucking Christ,
wobble
Boris,
of
you're
the.
fucking annoying.
Okay, he already raised it. Does the other guy know how it's measured? He wants to talk, so
But I can tell. He doesn't need to know, as long as someone knows.
I was talking about
sounded
you.
like Shadow. I was gonna page in to see who it was.
It was Shadow. So far we've had people being wrong about what the sky does for globe proof. We've had other people, scientists, not me. Does anybody know how the alleged rotation was measured?
Yeah, I do.
How?
The Earth in the globe model does a full 360 degree rotation every
Okay.
23. Let me finish.
Okay.
Every
That's
23
no.
hours, and I'm
No, you're not going to finish because that's the claim. We know the claim. We don't need you to repeat the claim. We gave you the claim. We're asking for the verification of the claim, the measurement that supports the claim. Please try again.
Show, yeah, show then tell. Show and tell.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
don't
you
repeat the
learned.
claim.
I was first going to explain the claim
No,
because
We know,
show
we know the
then
claim,
tell.
bro. We know
well,
you
you
We
tell
don't
know
know
the
the
Pretend
claim
claim.
you're in
actually.
kindergarten, okay? You
You actually
show,
don't know the
then you
claim.
tell. You
We know
show
You
the
don't
first,
know
claim.
the claim is what
then
I'm trying to
tell.
say. People make
It's
this
been
mistake all the
Right,
time.
boys,
Even people who believe in the globe Earth
come
make
on.
this mistake. But
Right, let's go.
I'll tell you how it's done then. I'll tell you then,
Let's
and
go.
we won't
Go.
care about that part.
Yeah,
So
show then tell.
Yes.
you pick a distant star, and you
Okay, you're
measure
telling.
its
You gotta
angle, and
show
then you
first.
what?
Show then tell. Don't tell.
I'm-
Show then tell.
Well, Crit, I think he's
Well,
about to show us the stars moving. Is that right?
Yeah, and we already talked about that. Stars do move. The Earth
if
doesn't.
you if you pick a distant star, it takes 23 hours and 56 minutes for that star to come back the next day.
Right.
Okay, so the star moved.
Yes.
We wanted to know how
Right.
you know that you moved.
What
The
what
Earth.
distance?
Well,
What distance anyway? Are there
at this
different
point we
distances
don't
with
at this
stars or
point
something?
we don't know if we moved or not. I'm just telling you
So,
the whole thing. You're not letting me finish, but that's okay.
so
Well,
we don't know we're moving then. That's what you're saying. There's no evidence.
No, there's more to it.
Well, what?
Right?
That's what we're asking you. So what's the
Yeah, well,
concrete evidence?
if you stop interrupting, I'll maybe be
What
able
do you
to
mean,
finish.
bro? We're
Oh yeah,
asking
like
you
you
is
don't
give us a
interrupt too.
citation. Give us a citation. Don't give us a story because we know the story. We've been arguing it literally for years, decades collectively.
You can measure this yourself. Right?
What are we measuring?
You don't even need a citation. You can do it yourself. Right?
we know the stars move. We want to know how you know the Earth moves. Get to
Come
that
on,
part,
bro. We've got
please.
faith in you.
Well, the Earth moves in many different ways. Be
Exactly.
specific on
Oh my
which
God.
part. The Earth
The
is
axial
on
rotation.
spinning on axis.
Start with the axial rotation. How is that
Right.
measured?
Yeah, so you can measure it. First of all, the two southern and northern um, uh, points that the axis points to, for the most part. That's one
Okay.
way, and
Okay, that's not a measurement of Earth rotation. That's an inference of Earth rotation based on watching other things move.
that's right. So,
That's
but
right. So that's not what
yeah,
we're asking for.
Incorrect then.
aren't you talking about rotation though?
Not of the sky, of the Earth.
Yeah, I know
So
that,
far, all we know is the
but you
sky is rotating. What about the Earth?
but you have to have a reference, right? So because that's how we did it in the early days. We can only go by what the sky's doing, right?
So how do you know it's not just the thing that you see moving and not you?
I'm about to explain the rest of it. Because since it takes 23 hours and 56 minutes, and anybody can test that, you wonder, where does the 4 minutes go, right? Because a day is actually 24 hours, right? So where does that 4 minutes go? But it also explains that the planet is on as a ball, has
Begging
to
the
face
question.
this. No. I'm
You
explaining
need a measurement
what
for
the
planet then. If you're
Explain
gonna
it, bro.
look, you can't slip that in there though, because
no,
that's
not
begging the
slip.
question.
No. What this
It's
is a
begging the question.
model, and I'm explaining how the globe Earth model fits together. You're asking me that question, how this is possible.
Okay, but
on the
listen,
globe.
when you say planet, then we're gonna have to go, okay, where's the measurement for that? And then it breaks down into
It's not a
that. So
measurement.
don't
It's a
use that
sphere.
in
It
your
doesn't
argument
matter.
unless you
It'll
can
work.
verify it.
It'll work on any sphere, even a ball. Right?
Okay, now,
That you
okay,
have
so
in your
now it
living
has
room in a
broken
light
down to
bulb.
that.
So
You're slipping the globe planet in there, so now we need the measurement of curvature to show that it's a planet. I mean, you can
it
do
doesn't.
that, but then you got to verify that. Like, we can't just let you slip in baseless claims to make your argument.
I'm not slipping in basis claims. Right?
Well, you said planet.
You didn't even let me get to the end. Right?
Yeah,
So
but that's because you said planet. You started begging the question of the ball
yeah.
Earth
Well,
planet.
okay.
Right?
Let's
You
not
can't
call it
use
that.
that unless that's verified.
Let's just call it the ball that
But it's still
Globers
a
believe
ball.
exists. Right?
Okay,
Dude,
so it's still a ball then.
you started with looking at the sky, and then you were looking at the sky, and then you said planet.
Well, fine. I'll throw out planet. Wrong choice of words. I didn't know that would affect
Throw,
you guys.
throw
But
out
the thing
ball
is,
at this
and
point because there's no
I
ball at this
thought you
point.
guys wanted to know from a
Show then tell.
glober how a glober figures this out.
No,
Well,
show then tell.
Okay,
by
you don't.
imagining
That's
things,
fine.
it
Be
sounds
quiet
like.
then. I'll just be quiet then.
Just throw
Because
out
you
the ball then.
obviously don't
Look, if
wanna
you can
know,
verify
right?
the ball, we'll take ball. You can use that in any argument that you want. But so far, nobody's provided a measurement of curvature for that ball, so we can't accept that. So if you just want to say the Earth, okay, fine. But if you're going to slip ball into it, that's
No,
begging the
but
question.
you
We got to stop
asked me how does
So
it work on it from a globe Earth model, is what you
No,
said.
no, I didn't at all. That's not you
Well,
at all.
so you're not asking me
No,
to
I just
defend my
asked you
position.
how the rotation of
Okay,
Earth is measured.
okay, I get it. Yeah, that's my position, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I believe
you
the
say
Earth
it
is
rotates.
rotating, and it's the sphere that's rotating. I get that. But
Okay,
so you're saying it in different words, but I'm just
okay, so claim and claim. Okay, it rotates, it's a sphere. Both claims. You're using a claim to back a claim to back a claim. That's useless to us. Just find the measurement for the rotation. That's what we asked for. If you're going to slip ball Earth into it, then we need verification of the ball Earth. We'll need a measurement for that too. It's real simple stuff.
yeah, I told you how I measure the rotation.
You didn't.
Yeah, I did. You just didn't
didn't.
listen.
You didn't.
I
Did
told
anybody
you.
else?
You can
Okay,
pick up.
maybe I'm
You
just
can pick a
retarded. Did
star.
anybody else here where he gave us the measurement for the rotation?
Negative.
Yeah, he was actually trying to explain it.
Okay, well, Ness, why don't you interpret for us? Because I didn't get it from him. Can you?
No, I have a better question, man. Is what is
Okay,
exactly
he
your
doesn't
claim?
have
That the Earth is flat and
Yeah, he doesn't have it. So, are we done with this one, or should we continue?
Yeah, this is what flat earthers tend to do. They don't want to hear it. Right?
Well, ask you for verification of your claims. Yeah, that's what we tend to do.
Yeah, I told you. You can do this yourself.
Do what? Go outside and assume I live on a ball and assume that the stuff in the sky moving around means that I'm moving around? You're right. I can do that myself. That's not what I want to do.
You can take the measurement, is all I'm saying.
Dude, you're arguing in hella bad faith.
Fine.
Take the measurement of the stuff in the sky moving. That's not what I want to do. I want to take the measurement of me moving.
That's how it was figured out. I'm telling you how it was figured out.
That wasn't. Then it was never figured out. If that's how it was figured out.
So you look up and you say, "Well, we're spinning."
No.
Yeah, that's what
Not
you
what I
told us.
said.
The stars move through the sky, and you infer from that that it's actually you that spun around. But at this point, all you've seen is the thing in the sky move. So why are we going beyond that? Fair enough if it's actually us moving around. But what I'm asking you is, how was that verified?
Well, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but okay, you slipped a
I'm
ball Earth in there, and then I needed verification for that too. Do you want to just drop the ball Earth point and then just continue?
Because I believe that the only explanation for the observation and the measurements can be done on a ball, and that's it. You can't. Any other model doesn't work.
Incredulity, begging the question, and you would need to verify the ball. I mean, it's real simple. You could just drop.
The observations it can only be explained by the globe,
man,
the
just
globe
drop the
Earth. That's all.
Okay, so if it can only happen on a globe Earth, right, that means that it is happening on a globe Earth, and then that means that the Earth has demonstrable, measurable, tangible surface curvature over every ocean, every body of water, all over its surface. Can we get a measurement of that to verify your assertion?
Oh, they can do that with satellites, fairly accurately.
Globe satellites would need the globe radius first, so it would first have to have been measured before that. How would that have been done?
There is a way to do it, but I can't remember. The Greeks did it with shadows or some freaking thing, or holes in the ground or whatever. They
We know what they
calculated it
did.
pretty close, right? But you see, that's not the point, though. I'm talking about the simple part that you can do yourself, right?
Well, what I can do myself is go outside and imagine that the lights moving around in the sky mean that I'm moving around. That's cool,
yeah,
but
because when something
Bro.
moves, you have to say, "Am I moving or is it?"
Exactly. So, do you experience motion, or do you just see things moving and assume? Because you don't experience any kind of motion, bro. If you're
when
honest,
you're driving down the road in a car at
bro,
100
the
miles
Earth
an
is
hour,
not
you're
a
not
car.
experiencing it either. Right?
A
You're not
car's a
experiencing
closed system.
100 miles an hour. The only
It's a
time you
car, bro.
experience that it's 100.
Bro.
Stop talking through him. He's refuting you. The car's a closed system, and that's linear velocity, and rotation is angular. It's constant acceleration. Stop it.
What's constant
You just
acceleration? The Earth
it's
isn't
not.
accelerating.
It is. It's on an elliptical orbit, and it's turning constantly. We can give you citations if you
There
want.
is no acceleration.
Wait, it's not accelerating? Wait a second.
How can it not slow down and speed up if it's on an elliptical orbit?
Wait, just one sec. He said it's not accelerating, so that means it's not rotating, like you've been arguing the whole time.
No, it's acceleration and velocity are two different things when it comes
No,
to physics.
rotation is acceleration.
I'll
No,
get
it's
your
not.
citation.
Close.
Of course it is.
Yeah, rotation is acceleration.
No, it's
So
not.
if it's not
You don't
accelerating, it's
understand
not
your
rotating.
basic. You don't even understand
Hey,
high school physics.
hey, flat water crisis.
You're projecting there. Do you
Yeah,
know what
flat.
velocity is?
Yes,
What is it?
it's a speed. It's a vector.
That's not all it is. What else is it?
I don't know.
Speed,
getting at?
direction as well. Rotation is constant change in direction. Rotation, therefore, is
Flat water.
acceleration.
Flat water.
Constant
If there's a
change
flat
in
water, say there's a
direction.
car going at 30 miles per hour.
A
What's its
car's a closed
acceleration?
system, bro.
Okay, but no, this is I'm asking a separate thing here. If there's a car going at 30 miles per hour, what's its acceleration?
If it's going at a steady speed, then it's not accelerating, but is it changing
Right.
If it's
direction?
turning. Is it turning?
Right,
That's
is
the
it?
problem. If it's turning, then it's constant velocity change. I've just posted the link in the chat for anybody
Yeah.
who's arguing.
Yeah, so sorry guys, rotation is acceleration. So when he said it's not accelerating, he kind of ended his own claim.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
he sunk
Okay,
his
it's
own
not rotating
battleship.
then. Fine.
Hey, can I join in?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Sure.
Flat water crisis.
Yeah.
So obviously I've heard you speak for a while now. It's almost like you got two brain cells and they're fighting for third place.
Well,
Oh,
bro, if
okay.
you're here to just talk shit
God,
like that, you
look
can
at
just
that.
bail.
Well, is that a globe
All
proof? Or...
about feelings.
If you've
It
not got
really
proof of the
feels
globe
like
and you can't present
Allow me
it,
to
best
offer
globe
a
proof I've
contribution
seen.
to this conversation as opposed to a blatant insult. Let's be
I
civil
know.
here, guys.
Yeah, true.
Please.
Let's
no,
be
Does
mature.
anyone?
Well,
it's
that's
predictive.
okay. It's okay because that's like what he has. It's not like he has globe proof that he could present. So what he has to do is spurg
Right.
out and throw insults.
Project.
That's all he has. So it's okay. Let him have it.
Yeah,
They
so
gotta
so let
let
me
it
say
out.
this, right? If the Earth is in fact round, then how come when you look down a horizon over a sea and you note that the ship sails outwards towards the end of the sea, or down as the round earthers would say it,
Is it?
you take a telescope, you look far enough, you take a potent enough telescope, that ship never actually goes down. It never
I know.
actually sinks out of the field of view.
Yeah,
And
that's
But they
furthermore,
still
there are
argue,
no
bro. Even though
bridges that I'm aware of that have ever accounted for curvature. Not even
They
the
don't.
Pyongyang Bridge.
What?
yeah,
Yeah,
we were
you're
talking
right.
about
Yeah,
that
the
earlier.
Chinese one does.
They have
the
actually.
one in China is massive.
Yeah, they do account for curvature because what
They don't.
happens is if you take a vertical column and you make sure it's plumb, totally vertical, and you put them that far apart, the tops of those columns are further apart than they are at the bottom.
Sounds like Boris should make a globe
They,
channel.
they do account for curvature. He said, okay, show us the schematics from any bridge that was built where they talk about how they're going to account for curvature. Please.
They discovered it on. They didn't.
No, just show us the schematics that backs your claim that they account for curvature. That's all.
Show
Please.
and tell.
Yeah, there needs
Show
to be
it.
some indicated curvature there, and
Yeah,
I believe the equation for a curve for the Earth being curved is every 2.5 miles there should be a 7 to 10 foot drop or something of that nature. There's
I
no
thought it was 8
curvature in
inches
any
a
of these
mile
bridges.
squared or whatever.
Yeah, that was
Something.
close.
No, it's
It
8
will
inches per
vary.
mile squared.
Yeah, okay, who measured that? And show us any schematics of bridges or anything being built to match that curve.
I'll get the bridge one for you. Just bear with me.
Yeah, it's going to be Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and that's going to be just a claim of a tilt that they can't possibly have measured, and it's not going to be a
which bridge?
schematic showing that any of that was actually built into the bridge
It's,
or even
it's,
exists. But go
it's like
ahead.
a fifth of an inch or something. That's what some outrageous portion of a measurement.
Yeah, it's 1 inch and 5/8 tilt, and they didn't actually measure it. They just calculated it based on their assumption of a globe radius, right? So it's just another circular argument.
Yeah, it's even less than error would be. So if you're building a concrete structure that size and that height, you're going to have way more error than that anyway. So
Yeah, it would never be possible to actually measure that tilt. The thermal expansion and contraction of those bridge towers is way more than that. They also tilt and wobble around a little bit. There's a bit of tolerance from that. There's a bit of tolerance for being out from plumb. 1 inch and 5/8 is a joke.
Yeah, at that distance, it's nothing.
Or is he going to bring us tow tanks or something?
Well, maybe. I shouldn't jump the gun. I've just seen him do it so many times.
Yeah, how is gravity so weak that birds can fly yet so strong that it straps hundreds of thousands of tons of water to the Earth on a spinning ball?
upside down from the other side of the earth, like insanity, antipodal, people walking upside down. How come we've never saw helicopters landing upside down or planes taking
Well,
off
we have.
upside down?
They don't survive. Well, and if you
Wait,
get your
have you guys
quote
heard of
unquote
gravity?
reliable information, if you get your
Boris is here to
reliable
set all you
information
guys
from
Which
straight.
one?
NASA's openly
Which,
stated
which
that they've
gravity do you think?
photoshopped clouds on the different
And don't you know
CGI
anything about
models.
gravity?
Yeah,
You guys are
NASA's got some
crazy.
fucking
No,
sus
I don't
shit.
know
Which
anything
gravity?
about gravity, son. I don't know anything
Which
about
gravity
it.
are you talking about, bro? You've either got Newtonian
someone
mass
asked,
None
attracts
of us
how
are
mass,
come the
experts,
birds
or
though. It
fly?
sounds like
you've got Einstein's or Newton's. So which gravity do you think has an experiment backing it? Because
yeah, but
neither are
we don't have
science.
a gauge in our brain that gauges newtons or angstroms, so we don't know what the fucking.
Right. So there's no one's ever established a cause and effect relationship. The cause being gravity, i.e., mass attracts mass, or space time bending or dilating or whatever the fuck. Einstein's is just maths, and Newton's the X force that was supplanted by Einstein. So today's rhetoric is Einstein. But there's multiple physicists that don't agree with it anyway. I could post you an image. I get the guy, he's Dutch or something, and he's a astrophysicist or a theoretical physicist, and he blatantly says gravity does not exist. It's a complete joke. I just posted his image. Eric Vander something.
Yeah, but what about gravity?
What about
That's what I'm saying. Gravity. Which gravity? Newton's or Einstein's? Pick a gravity. Pick a G.
I'll take a
Earth,
couple
I'm
Gs.
talking about Earth's gravity.
Pick one. You've either got Newton's or Einstein's. So which gravity do you believe in?
The gravity of this planet, Earth.
This guy's
Do
been
you believe
schizoing
space
hard for
time's
days.
bending? Bro, do you believe space time dilates and bends depending on its velocity or
Makes sense.
the proximity to mass dilating? It's all nonsense. It's just maths.
How
There's
is
no
it
experiment
nonsense?
backing either. So give us an experiment.
Yeah, you know what? The Earth is flat, but you're still broke.
What about the bird? What about the bird's wings? What about the bird's wings?
Yeah, some of these satellites have been proven to be CGI. They're not even real. There's very few satellites that are actually real.
Wouldn't make a
What
difference
do you
anyway.
mean? What do you
it.
mean they're CGI? We can clearly see the satellites. I've seen them.
Yeah,
Others
some
have
of these
seen it.
satellites are true. Some of these satellites are
They're
real.
in this. They're in the sky.
However, a lot of them are fabricated and they're not actually in functional use.
So what the
They're just
fuck are these
models.
objects in the sky that you see?
They're non-functional models. Essentially
They're
decoys.
non-functioning models. Are you
That's
high?
right.
Like,
Who's
do
this
you
guy?
even understand
Who's this
anything?
guy? What do you mean some are real and some are CGI?
NASA's openly
What
stated
does
this
that mean?
information. There's nothing new about this information. They've been caught
You're so
completely
full shit.
fabricating, copying and pasting
Do you even
clouds
know
on
what
their
you're
satellite
talking about
models.
here?
This is from NASA themselves. They've
Listen,
admitted
I
this.
mean, they tell you
Don't
out
take my
front that
word
they're
for it.
photoshops. They say that they're photoshops because they have to be. So in a way, it's not even like they're fabricating. They told you up front.
Well,
that
how
that's what it
convenient,
is.
right? If they never set the standard of truth so high that they need to demonstrate that these are actual real satellite shots, how convenient for them.
Yeah.
So I mean, shame on the Globers. NASA
right,
told you it's
right,
Photoshop because it has to be. They're not even lying to you. You're just
NASA
lying to
told you
yourselves.
straight up, we have to Photoshop this. This is not real. This is just a Photoshop image, and you guys ran with it.
That's right.
So according to the flat earthers in here, the fucking satellites are Photoshop. So if you see them on real life with a telescope in the astronomy club, they're not there.
The telescope
What the
ever.
fuck does this even mean?
No, it's not that
Well,
the
what
satellites are not real. It's that they're not functional. They're non-functioning satellites. They're simply models. It's a gimmick.
What about
It's the biggest
gravity?
scam. It's the biggest scam in history. They asked Buzz Aldrin to swear on the Bible that he's been to the moon. He punched a guy in the face over this. Punched a guy in the face, refused to take $50,000 for signing on the Bible.
But
You tell
what
me
about
that's not
gravity?
abnormal behavior. The
What
reason
about
things fall is
gravity?
because of density, not gravity. Right? Things are more dense than others.
What about
good
birds?
density. So would you agree that the more denser, the more force, or never mind the fact that objects fall at the same acceleration regardless of the density of the material on a
Well, that's what I'm
vacuum?
saying. Things fall because they're dense. Right. We know that feather can
Wait.
float.
Well, then
but
how,
not
how
for
often
longer
So
do
than
you
weight.
fall
heavier,
then?
denser
Hey, how
objects.
often do you fall then if you're so dense?
I fall all the time. I fall all the time, but it's not
I
because
bet
there's
you
this
do.
force of
I
gravity
bet you
pulling me
do.
towards the earth. It's because I'm a dense human being. I
Yeah,
can
you
find
are.
my
You're
balance,
right.
but if I
You're
lose it, I can
dense,
just
all right.
fall.
You're definitely dense.
It's quite simple, actually.
In truth,
That doesn't make
flat Earth is a CIA experiment, and they
Really?
fooled you guys. You guys
That's
are
right.
Really?
fooled into
Well,
believing.
yep.
You,
The
So let's
flat Earth
take
That's
is
that.
right. Wait
Let's take
until you
that.
guys
Let's
hear
take
about the
that.
skeletons they found on the moon. Why they never
Oh
went
my.
back.
well, the flat Earth is
I'm
a
gonna have to.
distraction from
Yeah.
Hollow
So
Earth.
let's take that. Okay, flat Earth is a CIA psyop. Okay, so water is flat, level, and horizontal when at rest. Is water a CIA psyop? Go ahead, Mazzy.
yeah. Please, if you don't mute me, maybe we'll have a constructive dialogue. But
Maybe,
yeah,
but probably not. You
so
think that you live in a tilted, wobbling space ball flying through a
no, I
vacuum
don't. Who
space. I
said
don't
I
think
do?
you'll be very
Hold on.
productive. But go ahead.
Hold on. You believe in the Earth?
Yeah.
wait.
LOL. Jokes on you, buddy. That's how they
Okay, that's
tricked
what I
you.
thought. Yeah, going back on mute. Guy's stupid.
Wait a minute. What about gravity?
What about it?
Yeah, that's my question.
Go ahead, define
What
it.
about it? What is it?
I'm asking you.
Oh,
It's your claim.
yeah, you brought it
I
up.
didn't make it. I asked a question. What about gravity?
Yeah, you brought
What
it
about
up, so explain it.
If I could explain it, would I be here?
Well, I don't know. I can't
Okay,
define your
fine.
I can't divine your actions.
We don't know what your
What
imagination consists of, so
about birds?
What about them?
Someone said, "How come the water can sit on the planet and the birds can go up?"
No,
So I
he's
wanted
not
to know
part of
why.
us. He's weird, man. He's not. He doesn't speak for us.
Well, why
He was
does a,
claiming.
why does a
He
rock
was.
sink and a ship doesn't sink? Right?
Density and
That's a good
buoyancy.
point.
Yeah.
Ah,
But that
explain
ship is like
buoyancy to
way
me then.
heavier.
Yeah,
Well, a
You
boat
is
is
heavier than
yeah,
rock.
but a boat is
Explain buoyancy because
displacement
I've
of
always
a boat
wondered
of
this
the
one.
a boat is displacement of water. Yeah.
I'm just confused.
Displacement of
What do you
water.
guys think the world looks like?
Yeah.
What do you guys think
What
the
does
world
I
that
looks
don't
like?
know.
What does
Let's
What do
go
you
displacement
think
outside
it
and
looks
check.
like?
So I'm just confused. So you guys don't believe anything that's out there. So what do you guys think it looks like?
What do you mean we don't believe anything that's out there? That's weird comment.
Well, I mean the science community, NASA.
What
so on and so
science?
forth.
What science is got to do with geometry?
They're all
Oh.
shills with scientists. They live large, getting paid, doing nothing, and
No,
lying to us
that's
all.
not what I
Okay, so-
said. I said what
Donald
science
Glover
has
talking.
what's geometry got to do with science?
Well, I'm talking about we have pictures of the Earth, but your position is
Where?
fake.
They're just
So-
Photoshop.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where's the
What do you
pictures
guys?
of the Earth? They admit it's Photoshop though.
Okay, where do you guys think? What do you guys think the world looks like?
I don't know, but it's flat and stationary. So
it's flat. So
They don't know what it looks like. They don't have a model.
Is it endless?
We don't need a model. That's how easy it is to take you guys out. We just go outside and point to the flat water at the beach. We don't even need to get into models or conceptualizations.
Well,
We
I
just
mean-
point straight to
well, I
reality.
mean,
We just do what
it
you
kinda
can't do,
matters.
which is point straight to reality to make our point.
I
You, when you
understand.
want to make your
I
point
try.
about reality, you have to
just mute me
appeal to
instead.
models and concepts.
I
You
tried
can't appeal
to
to reality
explain
itself.
why I
And
believe
now you're
it's
going
a
to talk
globe.
through me because it's too painful for you to hear.
No, I'm just trying to understand. So is
I was
it
talking to
endless?
the other guy, to be fair, but go ahead,
Oh,
Nemo.
is it endless? Do you guys think it's endless?
No,
So there's an end.
maybe.
So if it's not endless, there's an end. I mean, that's by definition.
Probably.
There's an,
Probably. I haven't been there.
okay, so do you guys have pictures of the edge of the Earth?
No.
So then
What
how
edge?
can you?
You have
Well, how
pictures
can
of the curve of the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, can you post those so we can just shut this whole thing down?
Yeah, post one of the curve of the Earth so we can look at it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to throw some numbers at you. You're going to spiral, and then we're going to get this over with.
I understand, but
Hey,
I've been to this chat a
Yeah,
couple of
Spake, you're
times.
back.
I'm back, mate. I thank
I've
fuck it's
I,
working.
I've seen people show
So,
live streams of the Earth being curved, and you saying it's all fabricated. So I know so I just want to ask, like, can you show me pictures of the other side?
Other side.
Pictures. Yeah, which is the edge. Can you show me those
Dude,
pictures?
dude, get it together. Nobody's here is in here claiming another side or any of that stuff that you're asking for.
Well, it's either the Earth is endless or there's an end. So I just don't understand.
Yeah, maybe it's endless or maybe there's an end. Okay, now what?
Can you show me things that validate either claim?
No, because I'm not making either claim.
Can you show us the edge of the universe?
Yeah, I
Can you
mean, I
show
don't
us
know why
the
you're
edge of
asking
the
them this.
universe?
They never claimed this.
I mean, I would suppose it's got an end. We always make the argument that gas pressure requires containment. There must be some sort of place where that barrier, meets the ground or whatever. But I haven't been there.
Right.
If it's endless, then there must be endless air as well to fill the endless space, which sounds kind of weird. But
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand, because I've seen what you guys do. Because if I show like a live stream of Earth right now, you guys will just say it's fake.
it's a loop. No, it's a loop, bro. All the live streams are constant loops. If you watch them, they play for so long and then it just clips back to the start of that loop, man. That CNN have been blasting that shit from never when it was like some retired, whatever he was, Navy dude or whatever, and he was basically claiming that they've got UFO like parts to the ships and organic matter. That's what they're claiming, and the CNN was fucking broadcasting it for like 14 days or 15 days, and I checked last night, and it's
Yeah, I know.
still streaming, saying that it's live, but they continually are adding different bits. So
I know.
when you go back and watch a couple of days later, it still says live and it's a constant stream, but it doesn't mean that it's live where they're claiming it is, man.
Oh, I know. Anything I show will just be said it's fake. I trust me. I understand.
Who says
don't
it's
worry.
fake? Did I just say it was fake?
Well, you say it's looped. That's fake.
But how's that fake?
Well, if
The
the
fucking
live stream is showing the
CNN, one of
curvature of
these
the Earth,
bro,
and you're saying it's looped,
bro.
how?
But I'm not saying it's fake, like what was fabricated in a Hollywood studio or whatever. Why do people never actually use the words that people say? You try and manipulate what we've said, or you try and put in what you think what we're saying, or what we believe, or what model or what we fucking supposedly accept the Earth to be. Like, none of the things you think the Earth is, we are believing, man. We're just saying, we're not moving, bro, we're not moving, and there's no convexity over a body of water. It cannot be found. So that's basically all we're saying. I don't know how you don't get that shit.
Okay, so if it's looped and you're saying it's not fake and it's showing the
Watch this.
curvature of the Earth, so then are you saying it's real?
Bro, they use fisheye lenses in the ISS, and if you don't believe me, I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, so it's claimed to be that the ISS is at 250 miles above the Earth. Now, every you look at Neil deGrasse Tyson, he says that you can't see the curvature from that height. So what are they showing?
Fisheye lenses.
Hey, listen, flat water. Look, earlier you just said that it might have an end and it might not, right?
Who knows?
Okay, well, I want to talk to Flat Water Crisis if he's okay speaking about it.
Well, how
what do you want to say?
Well, hold on. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, you're saying it might have an end and it might not, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but why assume anything? I mean, we don't know for sure if it's flat or a globe, right? Why would we assume one way or the other? That's a legit question.
Because there's no
Don't yell at me.
curvature.
I didn't assume one way or the other. That's why I said I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's fair. I can accept that. I don't know.
I would say it's contained and has an end due to the air pressure that we experience. But I can't go out and show you where the end is or something like that. So that's all we got.
I mean, man, I'll
That's
tell you
all
what. If it's not a globe, That is one of the greatest hoax ever pulled on humanity. Can you imagine? Billions
is.
of people, billions of
As
people
man.
just all in on it.
Yeah, the good thing is that we don't actually have to
Nah.
imagine it because we could
It's
walk
not.
outside and see that it's flat and stationary. So there's no imagination involved in it.
Don't you just have
Bro,
to
see
look
when
on
you
TV
said
and
there's
see if
billions
you're
of
on the
people.
ball?
Bro, so just to say, there's not billions of people in on it, like what you just said there either. Very few people have to know the truth, man. Like NASA's all compartmentalised. They're all working on their own little bits and components. They all sign NDAs. They're not allowed to speak about the shit they're doing. And then their component goes to somewhere else. And then those dudes, they only know so much as well. Next person up only knows so much.
I mean, but I like Elon Musk, and I feel like if it was flat, he would tell me it's flat. I feel like he's been honest.
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you
He's an
about it.
agent.
You talk to him.
I'm just saying. I feel like he would have at least said something to the public about it.
Nah, he's pushing space.
One good
I
thing
mean, but
about
hold
flat
on.
Earth is
Here's one
we don't
question
use.
I have for you.
Listen, one good thing about flat Earth is we don't use our feelings to decide.
Right.
Okay,
For sure.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. I know you guys use facts, but hold on. Let me say this: what makes me believe you guys over everyone else? That's a
Don't believe
legitimate
us.
question.
Please
Why?
don't
Why?
believe us. Don't believe
Yeah.
anybody, man. Jump from a belief system to another belief system. That's religion, mate.
Hold on, but that's a legitimate question. Like, okay,
It's-
I'm not smart enough to figure out if it's a globe or if it's flat.
Of course you are.
Yeah, you are.
You're smart
No,
on
I'm
everybody. You
dumb.
don't have to be very smart to know that the Earth's stationary, bro. I mean, how much IQ points do you need to know right now that you are not fucking barreling in different vectors at millions of miles an hour through a fucking vacuum with no containment? It's ludicrous. Just that statement destroys the entire globe model.
Okay, okay. Can I? What's your
agree?
credentials for making that assertion? What's your
What do you mean? That's
credentials?
the globe. I've just made a statement that is the globe model. That's your belief. I used to believe it as well, bro. I used to love it. That's why I know all the shit about it. Since I found out about Fly Earth, I found even more shit about it. Because that's when you start actually looking at the globe model and trying to pick holes in it, it falls apart. Looking at NASA, it falls apart. Long range observations, it falls apart. Personal experience, it falls
All right,
apart.
that's fair. That's fair,
Do you not
brother. But
agree? Do you not agree
can I?
right now, bro?
No,
Do
no,
you
no.
not agree? You're not moving.
No, you know what? You've influenced my thinking to think more
Please,
abroad and not believe everything.
I
But
don't
Are you
believe
the same
anybody.
guy who's like made the brain cell comment?
I do want to say though, yeah, I
Just-
did. It was. I thought it
Okay.
was funny.
Well,
But
this that was a pretty quick turnaround. Not bad.
Yeah, no
Guess his
problem,
brain
man.
cells
You know,
fail. I guess his
sometimes
brain cells wiped out.
sometimes every once in a while you gotta bring some laughter to the room, right? But
I don't mind
want to say, I do want to say, like, in truth, I'm not trolling. Does it affect my life in one way or the other if the Earth is flat or a globe?
Well, not really, but
So I mean, it's who
but it's
cares?
the type of thing where what the fuck would they be hiding, right? That's the idea.
Well, okay, let's say they're hiding an alien that has a mile-long cock. What difference does it make in my life?
Yeah, in your day-to-day life, yeah, it won't.
Bro,
Okay,
this place has been created, man. Like, I used to think I was an atheist. I used to believe I was a fucking atheist and think all this shit just came just by chance, the Big Bang, evolution, all those different things. But once all that goes, it proves this place has been created, man. And I'm not religious in the slightest. I think religion is just another part of the control system. But it proves it's creation. This place is a created environment.
You know what, Face? You could be right. You could be right. But
It's for sure, man.
Does that bring another dollar in your pocket?
What has that got to do with it, bro? Like,
I mean, it has a lot to do with it.
I don't sit and
Well,
watch TV.
I think that that is an important. I think there is an
I-
important like message
I mean,
to be had here, though.
It's about the truth, bro.
What you're trying to say though is that like your like belief it ultimately stems from like a religious background. It's not like a scientific.
What? I've just sat and said I'm not religious
dude?
in the
Who said
slightest.
anything about
and
religion?
I did. I says I'm not religious in the slightest, and I says I think religion's part of the control system, just another facet of it. But I'm not
But,
religious.
like,
But
the
I'm a deist. I'm a deist, so I expect.
I mean, a
accept. Sorry,
deist
this
is someone
place is
who
created.
believes in God.
No, it's not.
A deist is someone who believes in God. Yeah, it is.
I'm not, but not a religion. I'm not religious. I believe in a
Yeah,
creator.
I mean, that which one? Which one?
What do
Like
you mean?
the.
I'm not religious at all. What do you mean? Which one? Which one am I not religious from?
What
I'm
do
not
you mean?
religious
What
to
do
any
I
religion.
mean? Sorry, hold on. Let me ask
No,
you clearly.
listen.
Then
I'll clarify
I
it,
can
bro.
ask my question more.
Listen. I accept that this is a created environment. So I'm a deist by default. I thought it was an atheist. Then I found out about flat Earth. I thought I was agnostic.
Hey,
Then I realized I was deist because I have to be.
hey, 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 Face. I really think you'd
You
love
didn't
talking
answer
about.
my question though. Can I ask the question a little bit more clearly so
No,
that you
Go
can
for it.
understand better?
Go for it, bro.
Okay,
Go
so
for
my
it.
question is more specifically like of all the religions, like I know you believe in a creator, but like which one?
What do you mean? That would mean I would be religious.
There's like, well,
The Abrahamic
He's
religions,
saying he
bro.
doesn't believe in a
well,
specific. Look, he's saying he doesn't believe in a specific one. He believes there is a creator.
you're right,
There
yeah,
must
yeah,
be.
but
It's an
I
antecedent
question that,
relationship,
right?
bro.
Like,
It's an
because
antecedent relationship. There must be a creator if we see creation all around us.
right, but is that the only thing you know about metaphysical reality?
What do you mean? Well, all I
What
did was
I
make a
mean is
statement
like,
that,
are you
bro,
willing? Are
all I
you
did was,
willing? Are you willing to make any additional claims about who the creator is or
no.
what the characteristics of that creator?
No,
No,
but
nothing.
one thing I will say though, all the Abrahamic religions are all the same God. Muslims don't like to admit it. Christians don't like to admit it. That even say, Jesus spoke Aramaic. Supposedly, the word for God in Aramaic is Allah. So, and all these religions go against what the Most High said in the first book in the Torah. He said no more sacrifices. What was Jesus? A fucking sacrifice. He said no more idol worship. Jesus, Mary, the fucking Trinity, these are all the crucifix. That's all idol
Hey,
worship.
I'm sorry,
He's,
Face. Hey,
listen.
mathematician, can you mute,
He
please?
also said no more books to be added or taken away. That's in Deuteronomy. I'm not sure which fucking chapter,
Oh,
but
where's that?
that says. So how come the Talmud, all the Christian Bibles, and then the Quran, they all came after it, and they all go against what the first book said. So I'm not going to believe in those religions because they're all discredited
But
by
like
the first book.
you're willing to believe in other things though, obviously, like
Like
flat
what?
Earth.
I don't believe that I'm stationary right now. It's like your height, bro. Is your height, is that a belief, or do you know your height?
Hey, listen, Face.
Do you?
More,
Like, just
more,
ignore the
no,
question.
no.
So do
Forget
you?
that guy for a second. I got.
I'm asking him.
Please,
He
one more thing.
obviously
One
he
more thing,
doesn't want
please,
to answer
brother.
because he's not got a fucking answer, man.
I know you won't, brother. But I got one question for you. You said Christianity is probably not the truth and whatnot. Can I
No, I
introduce
never
you to
said
my
that.
friend? Can I introduce you to my friend, Mr. Darth Dawkins, by chance?
Richard Dawkins.
Bro, Daft
No,
Hawkins will just mute
Darth
it.
Dawkins.
Darth Dawkins.
All right. I thought you were going to give me the God delusion because I was going to say fucking hell. I read that or I listened to it years ago.
I think Darth Dawkins can prove to you very rationally that the Christian God is probably the real God.
How?
No, I don't. He's
Have
not
it, bro.
rationally explained that at all.
Bro, I'm not really want to
Okay,
go on
all
the
right. Let me
religion,
see. Let me see if he's willing to come in
bro.
here. Let me
Nah,
see if
it's a
he's willing
flat,
to come
bro. I
in.
don't want it. It's not a
We're not a
flat.
religion server.
Listen, it's not a religious chat.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
flat
This is
earth
not.
chat.
Okay. I'm
He'll just start
sorry.
trying to mute people if Daft was coming in. Literally, that's
Yeah.
all he does.
All
Bro,
right.
the only people that
He's,
get muted are
I
people that
think
overtalk and
Daft
don't
makes really
listen.
good. He makes really good logical arguments for a creator existing, but linking that to Christianity, yeah, it's fucking dog shit.
So how come the first book, the Torah, says no more sacrifices? How come Jesus is a
You would have to
sacrifice?
ask Darth Dawkins that.
I've already looked into it, bro. It's discredited in my mind. I don't want to entertain that idea of the Abrahamic religions. I think it's part of the system, man.
Where does it say this?
Google it, man. The Torah, no more sacrifices. It'll come up. There's a guy, I could give you a guy's YouTube channel. It's called AL. And he went through it. He used to be a Christian, and now he believes in the Most High, the Torah, and he goes through it all. And I was literally sitting with, I had a PDF I downloaded, as a scholar's edition of the Torah or something it was called. And the chapters he was bringing up, I was fucking pausing it and I was looking them up, and they were all correct, man. So I'll give you his YouTube channel if you want, but religion's for a different room, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a good fucking, he's got some good videos, man. It's eye opening when you.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, I guess.
You realise that it's completely contradictory.
No, I feel like a lot of us now believe in a flat Earth. I mean, we didn't really gain too much from it, but you know.
Bro,
Well,
I'm
nothing
not, I
changed
don't
because it was
believe.
always flat.
It's
Yeah,
not a
well,
belief, man.
okay, I know it's a flat Earth, but
No, you don't.
no, I do. I looked up some things, and actually, one guy that I really
Okay,
idolize believes in a
explain
flat
it
Earth.
then. Explain
There's
why
no
it is.
brother. Based on what I just Googled up in the past 20 minutes, there is no curvature. No one's ever seen the curvature. The CIA says that photos are CGI, and they admit to it, but yet no one questions that. You know, so
No, they
things
say
like that. So why you
this.
guys accusing me of being a liar? I'm being genuine.
Just testing what you were going to say.
Yeah, brother,
Wait,
no problem.
wait, haven't you seen the pictures from the space shuttle? The videos about
Yeah, man.
the Earth is
Show it,
round.
man. What
People
height are
hanging
they
on
at?
wires.
What height are they at?
Say again? They have
What
exited the
height?
Earth's atmosphere.
What height are they at from these photos?
So it's
What
maybe
height?
29 to 107,000 feet.
Yeah, you can't see a curve from that height. Even mathematically, with the size of the globe that they give you, you can't see it.
Well,
Even
can you
from
see ships disappearing over the curve bottom first?
oh my
But they
god,
don't know it. This is really basic, man.
2015 called and they want their argument back, man.
No, well,
Bro,
the truth
see,
the truth
listen, right?
doesn't change.
Bro,
The
listen.
truth
See, if you
doesn't
thought,
change.
bro, if you thought boats go over the curvature of the Earth just a handful of miles away from you, how small would the Earth have to be? You're obviously not going to see curvature a few miles away, man.
You can watch them go over the curve.
You can't though, man.
Yes,
That's
you
what.
can.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You can see them disappear. Sometimes they disappear bottom first, depending on the conditions, the elevation, the
They
optics.
all
There's loads of factors.
disappear bottom first.
But the Earth would have to be absolutely tiny if you saw a boat go over the curvature a few miles away. Do you not understand that?
You can always see boats go over the curve bottom first.
So you're just going to repeat the same sentence over and over again and not listen to my reply and just repeat the same sentence.
The
Take a
truth
look in the
doesn't
chat.
change. I'm sorry.
Take
The
a look. See if you're
truth
just going to
doesn't
act
change.
ridiculous. I'm just going to mute you on it.
Bro,
Because
you're
if
a
you're just
flat Earth retard. You're a fucking
but,
retard.
well,
Flat
that's made it guaranteed that you are muted then, mate.
No, it's how do we have the Earth is like the map?
The question is,
what
what
was that?
distance?
What was that clown's name?
distance do they go
Stop
over the
coming in here with
horizon?
fucking popsicle, Sean.
What's that clown's name? Because I
Who's
keep
the
missing it
clown?
on the
That's
screen.
that guy.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's ask
Fire?
him. At what distance do they go over the horizon, buddy?
Who needs muted?
Do you know that? Oh,
That dude. He'll speak again. I can't remember his name. I couldn't see it on the mic.
Sorry, go ahead, Timbo.
Windows
no, I was just
95.
gonna. I just wanted to ask
Oh,
this
you're
guy what
such
distance.
a coward. You are
What
such a coward.
Windows.
do they go over the horizon?
What?
We'll take a look in the text chat if you think boats go over the horizon. Just post a gif
But
from
why
a guy.
can I not see it? How far can I see from the Earth?
Can you take a look in the text chat if you're claiming boats go over the horizon? That's almost 10 miles away, that boat. The land is about 15 miles away.
So this guy who's speaking now wants to know how far away from the Earth do you have to get to see the curvature?
There's math
Is
for
that what
it.
you're
Indio's
asking?
got the math. I'm sure
Yeah,
Indio's
it's
got the
about
math for it.
I think it's half of the radius or a third of the radius.
If you look in the text chat, I literally just posted an image on it. I'll post
image of what?
Cyclone, are you able to speak, bro?
The different heights where you see different curvature.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you're there, bro.
Okay,
I
what's
was just checking you had
what's the
terms, bro.
first? What's the first height where you can start seeing it?
Burj Khalifa.
You can see curvature from the Burj Khalifa. Is that what you're
Well, a
claiming?
human eye wouldn't be able to see it. A camera would be able to, measure it. A human eye would probably.
Do you know what the experts
just have a look
say?
in.
Do you know the
text
height?
chat.
Do you know the
Go on.
height that the experts say that you should be able to see curvature?
Well, maybe like the 22-kilometer one.
Nope. It's around about 1,000 miles above the Earth's surface.
1,000 miles. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
No, well,
But
that's what the experts say. So, are you disagreeing with the experts? Or?
I think I am, yeah.
no, I'm saying like,
Okay. Have you got
haven't you
any
seen?
proof that?
Well, yeah, could
You
I
got any
just could
proof
you
that
link that?
you're correct?
Yeah, could
So,
you
if you're
link the
disagreeing
experts?
with the experts, have you got any evidence that says that you can see it from what height you're claiming you can see it
What
at?
could you link the experts saying it, please?
Mate, I'm working at the moment, but if you look up Neil deGrasse Tyson, he says that
Oh, yeah, I don't
even
know that.
from
Honestly.
Even
okay,
it's
well he does have
He's an ass.
127,000.
He's an asshole.
he
But
does have
I know he
physicist
does have some.
credentials,
Yeah.
so yeah, he does have a
Because he
doctorate. Yeah.
is Neil deGrasse wrong then? Is that what you're saying? Because he's a dumb asshole, is you saying that he's incorrect in his claims?
Well, I believe he's a dumb asshole. But the claims, I don't know. He might be correct, might be incorrect. So I'll have to see the claim.
So I mean, think about it. Eh? And then you
Wait,
see the footage from the Felix Baumgartner jump. Literally, all the cameras are fisheye lenses, apart from the inside one in the cab. That's a rectilinear lens, and it shows the horizon at eye level, fucking horizontal, like it always is done, man. It
Can
never
I just
changes.
ask the guy, what is it that makes him think that Neil is dumb? Exactly.
Just because you don't like him.
What's he said that's very dumb?
He doesn't like him
I just
because
don't
he
like him.
said it's flat.
Why are you dismissing what he's saying about the globe that you believe in just because you don't like him?
You know that wasn't my dismissal. I'm just saying I
Right,
don't
so
like
that's what I'm asking. Why is he dumb according to you?
him. He just spouts shit.
Well, what shit did he
What
spout? Give us something
Well,
specific.
it's one of those things where I've just seen it over the years. I don't, have specific links to that.
So, well, what it must stick with you if you're saying, "Oh, he's super dumb." I remember
Well,
he
no,
said
it's
this
just
dumb
rendered.
thing.
It's not stuck with me. It's just rendered in my head.
Well, he obviously didn't say anything that dumb if you can't even remember what it was.
Well, it's not as if I'd remember that.
Okay, so you don't have any reason to dismiss what he's saying, and he's preaching your
Well, like
belief.
I said, that wasn't my dismissal. I believe he's wrong.
So you believe he's wrong when he says there's no curve at 120,000 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your
So
reason for that?
Because
Oh,
there
you go,
would be
Cycle, sorry.
curvature at that height.
Well, how do you know that?
You can calculate it.
What do you mean you can calculate it?
Using
Where's your
simulations.
what's the calculation? Have you got it?
Well, if you look at the images I posted in the chat, that shows the level of curvature you should be able to see at that height.
Which image is this? Let me see.
It shouldn't be too far.
FlatEarth.ws. Who runs? Which scientists are behind FlatEarth.ws?
I don't think there's any. I think it's a fan made. It's a site with it's like a centralization of all the debunks of flat Earth that it can get.
What evidence have they got for this claim? Who's making this claim?
I don't know if they use like a simulator or something. I think there's a website where you can do that sort of thing.
So how would that prove on a simulator? How would that prove what you actually see in reality?
That wouldn't. It would just prove that Neil deGrasse Tyson's wrong about the model.
Well, that doesn't provide any of the calculations, though. So how do you know that's correct?
It's a simulation. It does the calculations.
But you don't have the calculation or the simulation. You just got the image.
I will find the simulation because I've done it. I've just been on that site before.
Okay. Well, I guess let us know when you find the simulation.
How's it being?
Then we agreed that a simulation doesn't tell you anything about reality. So how does that get help?
I mean, it can tell you certain stuff. It's just it's obviously not the same as actually measuring it in reality.
Who did measure it in reality?
I don't know.
Did anyone?
Yeah, probably have.
Probably. So you should be able to find that pretty quickly.
I can try that after I found the simulator.
Do this one first because it's a bit more important. Like who measured curvature? Who measured?
Yeah, I mean,
curvature?
so the around 120 something feet is the 120k feet is the height of a high altitude balloon. So maybe if there's footage of high altitude balloons.
No. But I'm talking about like a measurement on the surface. Who's measured it?
Oh, what, from the surface? to measure 128 foot.
No, to measure curvature, that the surface is curving.
Yeah, so where are we measuring this from? From the surface or from
Okay, well, let's say we've got a 10-mile lake, yeah? A lake that's 10 miles wide. Do you know how much curvature is supposed to exist on that lake from point to point? Have a guess. Is it a centimeter? A meter? 10 meters?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know the equation at all.
Just have a guess. A foot?
How long is it? Was there?
10 meters. 10 miles. Sorry.
10 miles.
Yeah.
Maybe like 90 inches or something. I don't know.
90 inches. Okay. What if I told you it's supposed to be 66 feet?
66 feet. Then that's cool, man.
Okay. Well, that would be measurable, right? If I was to take a pair of binoculars and look across that 10-mile lake to see you on the other side, you wouldn't be visible, right?
Probably not.
Right. So if we did go to the lake and we took out our zoom lens and we could see each other, would that mean?
It would depend on the refraction, but sure.
Well, if I can see you when you're supposed to be 66 feet below a curve of water,
then it would probably be a high refraction.
What do you mean?
That day would probably have high refraction.
What do you mean? Is this something that you think can let you see round corners or curves?
Refraction, yeah.
So you can see, say, through a hill onto the other side?
No.
Right. So you couldn't see through a hill of water?
No, but refraction is seeing over the hill of water. That is what refraction is.
So that would allow you to, let's say there's a house behind a hill that's 60 feet, and the hill's in front of the house, blocking your view of it. You think you can somehow see over the hill to the house?
If the hill was made out of water, that's what refraction is, yeah. And it was...
No, but it would be a physical obstruction. The hill is solid.
Yes, but with a solid hill, refraction doesn't occur.
How not?
I had no idea.
So how do you know? Why are you making the claim then?
Well, because I just know that refraction can help you see over water over long distances.
But not a hill.
So you can only see around water and not hills, but they're both physical.
Yeah, but one's made out of water. Well, I mean,
So what does that? How does that make a difference?
Well, let's have a look. I'll see what refraction is actually supposed to be.
You're making this argument. You don't know what refraction is supposed to be. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did say that, but.
Wow, what a zealot!
Give us the definition for your refraction.
Let's see. Sorry. So in physics, refraction. Do you want me to post it? I'll read it out.
Read it out.
In physics, refraction is the redirection of a wave as it passes from one medium to another. Refraction of light. Yeah, so refraction of light is the most commonly observed phenomenon.
Right. Okay. So if we're looking over a lake and we're just looking through the air, that's just one medium.
Have you ever put a straw in a cup of water, and you see the straw?
Hold on, I'm speaking to this guy, and whoever's coming through there is very quiet.
Took care of him. Go ahead.
So
he was really quiet, mathematician, anyway.
Yeah. So Hasty, when we're looking over the lake of 10 miles, we're only looking through air, right?
Maybe.
So that's one medium.
Sure.
So then your refraction definition, which says multiple mediums, doesn't apply.
If you say so.
So then how am I seeing you on the other side of the lake?
No idea, mate.
Well, it's because there's no curve, isn't it?
Nope.
Well, then how am I seeing you?
I have no idea, mate. I don't know what the experiment is.
Well, it's a long distance observation.
Well, I obviously believe this is just going to be some other explanation. I just don't know it.
Well, why would you say there must be some other explanation, but not I'm seeing him?
What? No, you would be. If you can see him, you can see him.
Right, so if you can see him, then the curve that's supposed to be blocking him isn't there. Right, well, what about the explanation that I see you because you're there?
Yeah, I mean that's that. I agree.
Okay, welcome to Flat Earth.
If you say so, man.
Well, that's it. I mean, I can see you. If it was curved, I wouldn't be able to see you. So it's a clear
Flat
dichotomy.
Earth is not real. Like there is no flat Earth.
This guy's spiraling hard. I'm talking to him in chat. He's not accepting anything.
Which one? The one I'm speaking to?
No, mathematician.
No, the
Okay,
cam guy
okay.
who just is having a meltdown. He just had to express himself.
Okay. Yeah, because seriously, think about it. I mean, we're just
So
saying, well,
you
we
are
see the
saying the
person,
Earth is
so
flat.
we're assuming they're there. Because why would we assume that they're not there when we see them?
No, I'm assuming they're there. There's just a different reason for why you're seeing them. So how many?
What
Wait, so
would
was
that?
it 10 mile?
Yeah, 10 miles.
And
Just as a.
and how much is the hidden height?
So, what, 60 plus feet? 50, 60 feet?
Yeah.
If we're like just standing on the edge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this is what people are doing, right? The claim on the table from the globe side that we're all taught is that, well, if you go to a lake that's 10 miles long, your friend on the other side is going to be 50, 60 feet below a curve of water that you can't see through, so you shouldn't be able to see him. So people go down and do the test, and they do see him.
Do you have a
So
link to this
what do we
test?
do then? Are you on the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you scroll down on that server list, you'll get to the additional information section that's all alphabetized. So there's under L, you'll see long distance observations and laser tests. You see those?
Oh, sorry, say this. I'll go say this. Flat Earth.
So go onto the FE 24/7 Discord
Earth.
channel. Scroll down. About 3/4 of the way, there's an additional information section that's all alphabetized.
Yeah, it's got all the different. Yeah, and which one?
Yeah, so go to L, and there's long distance observations and laser tests. You see those?
Were you looking for anything in particular, no?
No, I'm just showing him that there's a heap of them.
Which one am I
Pick
looking
one. Pick one.
Sure. It's a Nikon P1000 one.
So give it a watch, and you'll see kind of what people are doing in terms of comparing the globe model geometry, what we're supposed to see, with what we actually see, and you'll see that people are seeing way too far.
For sure. Over and over again, man. Even the Guinness Book of World Records at Canada, 270 something miles, I think it is. And there's multiple mountain ranges that should be well below the curve of the Earth, but they're still visible.
And what about scenarios where there is like a hidden height? What is going on there?
So if you're
go
talking
ahead,
about perspective, sorry, by hidden height, are you talking about the predicted hidden height on the globe model?
Yeah.
What should be?
Yeah. Well, so that's supposed to predict what we shouldn't see, and yet we have numerous examples of us seeing it, or even further than it.
Examples where we don't see it, like where it's correct. So what about those?
Yeah. So atmo conditions can make it, particulates in the air, fog, dust.
Oh, okay, I see.
All kinds of things can stop you seeing far, but the difference is there's supposed to be a geometric limit that you're never supposed to see beyond due to the curvature of the physical surface. So if you do see beyond that even once, then
the black swan.
That means it's not a physical limitation, obviously, unless you think the globe grows on certain days.
All horizons must be geometric, and if they're not all geometric, then none are geometric.
Yeah, so think about it. If we're saying there's a geometric horizon based on the curvature, then it could be, say, 4 miles away from you on a given day as a geometric position. But depending on the conditions, you might see only 1 mile or 2 mile or 3 mile, which is why the weather report, if you look on a weather report, it will give you the visibility of the day and it will change based on the conditions. But it could
Right.
never be beyond 4 miles because that's supposed to be the end of the physical surface that you can see.
Well, if GC, just to add, I don't know if you've heard the Black Swan argument, but if you have, there's an image that was taken from the same spot. Now, you can see that's from the same place, same elevation, and the horizon's vastly different than what it was on the day previous, or however many
Right.
days it was previous.
Could you
So,
unmute mathematician? So I'm all ways, but aside from
depends. It depends, because
Um,
he was spiraling last night, that's why he had to be muted, so give him a chance, man.
Yeah, every time we unmute him, he interrupts. So if you do it again, mathematician, you're just going back on mute.
so if you look at that picture I put in the chat, what do you think of that then? What do you guys think of that? I don't know, you know, obviously the go-to will be, well, this is coming from a flat earth debunking site, but you know, trying to ignore that.
I mean,
yeah, the bottoms up can be obstructed of things due to perspective. So you can demonstrate this at home with a long table. You put your eye against the
That's
table
a
and pull an
deceptive
object away.
experiment.
No, what do you mean a deceptive experiment? It's exactly what occurs. You can do it in a gym hall.
Nope,
You
that's
put
to
your
do with the
head to the
camera
ground
lens. When you zoom in, the camera lens
and walk
expands,
away.
and you can see more.
Does that mean you can see round a corner or round a curve?
I will explain to you why that's a deceptive experiment after I found the evidence for it.
You like to make claims and then go and find the
Well,
evidence.
no, I
for your
know
claims.
why. It's the lens. When you zoom
No,
in, the
yeah,
lens
that doesn't let you see round a curve.
All right, can you guys
But
hear me
on
now?
the
I'm really
in the
sorry for
table,
interrupting. I just want to make sure my mic's working.
yeah, you're working perfect.
so on the table experiment, the camera opens more, like, and then you can see more.
Yeah,
you can
So that's seeing around curves, or is
I
it
will-
just
got anything
zooming
to do
in
with
on what
curves.
you can actually see?
Yeah, that's fine. You can zoom into things. We're not disputing that. But if it's supposed to be behind a physical curve, then you can't zoom into it, obviously.
Right. So what is going on in that video? The picture.
You can get bottom-up obstruction on a flat surface, which I'm showing you in the text chat now, if you care to look.
Oh, well, this is. What do you know? We're looking at the exact same thing.
It's just the same idea, man.
So,
Bottom
Yeah,
obstruction
there we
from the
go.
bottom on a
Look at the
flat
video
table.
I put, and why that video is deceptive.
No, but it's not, because look, I'm about to post the second part of it.
Okay.
Right, so look at this. So the coin has disappeared bottom up on the table, and now he's going to take the camera and zoom in.
And be presto.
And then you can see the coin again.
And so if we look at the video I posted, this is why.
You mean why?
So you can see you're saying the camera's placed below the table, but if that were the case, you wouldn't be able to zoom into the coin at the end of the table. So that's a weak
No,
rebuttal.
that's not true.
Yes, it is.
You just don't understand how camera lenses work.
Wait, so you're saying you can zoom through a table now?
No, when you zoom in, the camera lens widens. It shows it in the
Yeah,
images.
yeah.
I know you don't want to actually read it, right? But
no, that's fine.
I
The
watched
camera
yours.
lens, but you're only seeing the coin because it's level with the camera. You're not looking through the table, are you?
The camera's lens is opening more, so you can see more.
Wait, so are you saying that you're looking through a table?
No, you can just see up
Okay,
more.
so the coin is level with the camera then.
No, it is not.
Well, how's he seeing the coin then?
Because I've explained it to you multiple times. Maybe I should do it again. So when you zoom in on a camera, it widens the lens.
Yeah,
Therefore,
so
it
you can
opens
see
up.
the coin.
Yeah, exactly. It opens up a line of
Yeah,
sight.
so he's not looking through. He's not looking through a table then.
No, it's not looking through the table. No, nobody claimed that.
Well, your image states that in the top right image. The camera is placed slightly below the table. Did you even look at what you posted?
Right, so we're all looking at the image, right? Let's make sure we're all on the same page. Yep, we're all on the same page. We're all looking at this video I posted. Is this a yeah? Can you do that? Can you manage that? Right, okay, I guess not.
No, I'm looking at it.
All right, I was just
yeah. So he zooms into the coin. Very good.
Yeah, so if you look at the top right image, so the camera is placed below the table, and you can't see the coin at the end of the table because the lens is small. There's no line of sight to the coin. And when you zoom in on stuff, camera lens enlarges, and it opens up a line of sight to the coin.
So the camera has line of sight to the coin.
After they're zooming in, yeah. Because zooming in
Yeah.
enlarges the camera's open.
So we're seeing bottom-up obstruction and then resolving the image.
Well, it's not being obstructed, it's just the camera's below the table.
If it was below the table, it would be blocked by the table.
No.
And your image is showing. Yeah, I don't think that's
This is
how
the
a
real good test of
camera
whether a flat earther
zoom
can admit they're
works.
wrong about something.
What do you mean? What are we wrong about?
So what's your claim?
The claim is that you can have bottom-up obstruction without a physical curved surface because you don't have a curved surface.
Okay, but this example is not proof of that, unfortunately.
Okay. What if we showed you a RC boat going over a lake, which with the distance where there should be no curvature and disappearing bottom up?
Yeah,
what would
there's
you say
plenty of
about that?
examples of
You can
this.
if you want, but I really don't think we should drop this experiment. Because it literally this experiment.
Yeah,
Just
but
is
we
wrong.
can use other experiments to demonstrate that it's doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, in that other experiment, that actually could be. Let's pretend, in this other experiment, that is the case. But in this experiment, it's not. And it's a deceptive experiment.
Says you, but that's okay. I mean,
yeah,
you can choose not to believe it, but you can demonstrate this in a number of different settings. You can do this in a hotel hallway, you can do this in a gym hall,
you guys
put
are
your head to the
the
floor.
guys choosing not to believe it.
No, this is
Okay,
a known perspective phenomenon.
Yeah, where the camera lens enlarges and then you get a line of sight.
No, where an object will disappear bottom up if you put the lens close to the surface or your head close to the surface.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
doesn't
that's
change that
just
you're wrong
known.
about that experiment. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's okay. You've already essentially conceded, right?
Yeah.
If you want to
we
go
can,
that way, that's fair enough.
if we can show that things disappear from the bottom up, not due to Earth curvature, then can you make the claim that things disappear from the bottom up due to Earth curvature?
Well, it isn't disappearing to bottom up. The camera's just skiing about.
Okay, but there's we've got thousands of these things. We've got
RC
Timbo,
boats,
we've got everything.
let's pretend they're correct. This is one example. Is the test
Okay,
whether a
so
flat earther can concede the point.
if we show you something that disappears from the bottom up, not due to Earth curvature, then can you claim that things disappear from the bottom up due to Earth curvature?
Sure. Yeah,
That wasn't an answer.
Yeah, sure. But this doesn't
Sure,
change.
what does that mean?
He said, "Can I?"
Are you saying yes? You agree with his statement? You can't claim its curvature. Okay, well that's fine then. Then we can move on. We can move on. So that explains the
because you
image
still
that you
haven't admitted
posted.
the examples.
No, it doesn't. Well, because you already admitted that it occurs and it is a phenomenon of perspective, which is fine because
I'm
why we
admitting
originally brought
the
this
boat
up.
examples, right? Let's pretend the boat examples are what it's.
No, because remember, this was brought up because you posted the image of that tower appearing to be obstructed bottom up, and now you have just agreed with Timbo saying, sure, I can't say that bottom up obstruction is curvature.
Okay, but I really want to finish up this experiment.
Well, it's fine because we've just answered your image with the building disappearing bottom up. It's not curvature. So where's the evidence for the globe?
Sure, man. So you're going to concede the experiment yet?
No.
Oh, so you just can't admit you're wrong. Yeah, that's fine if you're bad.
What experiment?
What are you talking about? It's not. I mean, I know you want to focus. I know you want to focus on the red herring, but the reason that was brought up was because you posted an image before that
you can admit you're wrong about something.
The building being because the point that you're trying to speak about.
Sure.
Right. So then we still don't have any. We still don't have any evidence of a globe then.
Yeah. Okay then. So back to this coin experiment.
Yeah.
Did you believe that shows bottom up exposure?
Yeah, you can see the coin going across and it starts to disappear bottom up.
Yeah, and that's because of the camera lens being small when it's zoomed out.
Well, that's your claim. You don't have any evidence for that, and you've just conceded
No,
it
I mean,
in all
it
these other
directly shows.
examples. No, it doesn't. You just posted a cartoon image. You're claiming that's what's occurring.
Well, that
It's
is
not
how it
evidence
works.
that
That's how
what's
camera
occurring.
lenses work. The camera lenses expand when they zoom in.
Yeah, but your diagram that you posted is not how camera lenses work.
I mean, it is.
I mean, it's not. Well, I mean,
You
other than
that,
that cartoon image, showing that, what evidence have you got that that's what's occurring?
Well, okay, let's pretend the original Cohen experiment actually was bottom-up exposure. Do you admit this would produce the
You
same
can see it.
results?
What?
Since this is how cameras work, the camera lenses work. If the camera
Well,
is
no,
below
that's been contention. You haven't proved that. You've just posted a cartoon.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry you are this way.
That's okay, because you already conceded, bro. You already said,
Yeah,
yeah,
I had
okay, I agree.
to move
Bottom-up
out of the way.
obstruction doesn't mean curvature. That's the whole point. If you agree to that, this is irrelevant.
Well, I had to. It's the type of personality you have. I have to feed you a win, you know, to make you
No,
move on
you
from that point.
don't have to feed us anything. I mean, you can embarrass yourself trying to claim that it's not the case, and we can show you loads of examples of it happening, and you can deny your eyes. But obviously, you're smarter than that, so you decided, no, obviously they're going to show compelling examples of exactly this, so I can't claim that it's curvature.
Yeah, if you say so, man, that's what happened.
So, no bottom-up obstruction due to curvature. So, where's the curvature?
It's gone, man. That's it. You've just it existed, and now it doesn't. Now you've
Well,
disproved
see,
it.
you're just kind of open now. It's like, okay, are you going to be serious? Like, you believe in it, so what's your evidence for it? Or can you not present any evidence?
Yeah, I can't work with you, man. You've literally shown why we can't work. Like we've tried, and you can't concede one
So
single point.
Hasty's given up on the curvature. What about some of his mates? Do they have any evidence for the curvature?
Mathematician wanted to get in there, but he's usually just a troll. Just so you know. So we'll see.
Well, let's try and keep him focused.
Worth a try.
What's your evidence for
Mathematician,
the curvature?
can you hold on to your tongue? Can you be chilled?
He was
Don't know
given
if
a
he can
math
last.
problem yesterday that he couldn't do. It was the horizon calculation, and he could not do it. He refused to do it. He said he couldn't do it.
Well, his name isn't Good Mathematician.
We were talking about it last night, Cyclone, with a mathematician come in and call himself mathematician and repeatedly say, I'm a mathematician, I'm a mathematician. He just keeps saying it. He must have said it like 8 times since I've seen him.
I'm
a mathematician. Do you know of any evidence for the curvature? You know, they say that we live on a ball. Balls must have surface curvature. Do you have any evidence for that?
A what? Surface what?
Curvature.
Curvature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the evidence?
Well, one would be if you go high up enough, you see the curvature.
No, you don't. When did you do that?
There's a lot of amateur rocket clubs out there that send cameras up into space or near space.
But you've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Okay. You've seen YouTube videos or something?
I've seen YouTube videos, and my university had a amateur rocket club, and they had photos.
And those photos, do you know what kind of cameras they were using?
I'm not sure.
Do you know that cameras can have lens distortion?
Yeah, I know. They accounted for that.
Well, how do you know that if you don't know what cameras they used?
I just know that that's what they told me. I mean, I wouldn't assume they'd lie, build a whole club out of it.
Well, they're probably not thinking that they're trying to trick you. But
they probably believe what
the cameras they use can just have a fisheye lens or
I know, yeah,
lens distortion. Yeah.
And these guys will believe what they're presenting, man. It's not like we're not trying to say like the whole education system, every teacher, every person at NASA, they're all in on the lie because they all got taught it just like us. They go along with it. If they work at NASA, they might work on a component. It might go elsewhere, wherever. Yeah? Non-disclosure. And very little people have to know the Earth is flat to get away with this.
Mm-hmm. If the
So other than images on some videos that you've seen, because I mean, would you agree that that isn't 100% proof, or do you think that's 100%?
I think it's a pretty useful model to have the Earth is spherical.
No, I'm not talking about
And it's
models.
probably-
I'm talking about reality.
I think actually yes, I do believe the Earth is curved.
Yeah, I know you believe it, but I'm saying images that you've seen on a screen. Do you think that's 100% proof of it, or do you
I
think
haven't
it's
seen any
possible that?
images that show the Earth is flat either.
Well, that's all you've ever experienced. Because remember, when I asked you, have you seen it in person? You were like, no, I've never seen the curve in person. That means all you've seen is that it's flat.
Oh, I see mountain ranges and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Not like, it's topographical, right? But the horizon is flat.
Is it
Like
though?
if you go to the
Because
beach.
ships disappear, their hull disappears before the mast.
Were you not just here for this conversation that we just had?
I joined like I think like 4 minutes ago, maybe.
Oh, right. Okay. So you maybe missed it. Well, we just explained that bottom-up obstruction can occur on a flat surface due to perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, there's a bunch of different demonstrations. See if you look in the text channel, we posted a few of them.
The atmosphere is also curved, right? So that's why.
Well,
what does the flat Earth model say?
Air doesn't have a shape, does it?
How does the sun move in a flat Earth model?
Just like you observe, over your head, east to west, repeated patterns throughout the year.
So if you're looking at it from top down, Earth.
Well, we can't look at it from top down. You can only see it from Earth. Yeah.
And you see the sun in its apparent position depending on where you are in the atmosphere. And, like, there's loads of different factors, just like those images we were talking about earlier. There's lots of factors limit or allow you to see further or see more or less of the sun. Like sometimes the sun, literally parts of it set above the horizon, and they disappear above the horizon. They don't merge into it. They literally just disappear. So it looks like it's not a physical object. It's not a tangible thing.
Yeah, Stray, what you need to understand is we're not promoting some model or cartoon of what we think it looks like from a place that we can't go. We're only talking about what can be observed, what can be verified, what can be measured, right? We're not making claims about things that can't be verified.
Y'all believe in flat Earth? Y'all fucking retarded.
Bye.
Quick spiral.
Hey, Cycle, did you see earlier that Boris was here?
Oh, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just repeating the same thing over and over again, man.
Man, they've been spiraling for many years.
I know. That's what I was saying. He's one of the OG like spiral
and he's never changed. It's like he's got the same script, crap. It's like he's never changed the fucking thing.
I've heard. Oh, I heard Indio break down antennas and radio signals like ad nauseum for an hour and a half, and today he said he's never once talked to Indio. I'm like, holy
It's
shit.
Groundhog Day for some of these guys.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, it's Groundhog's Day. It's like they wake up the next morning and they just like
wake up next morning and ask the same question: why does the boat disappear bottom up? Why does the GPS work? We told you this yesterday.
Yeah, the thing today was like, if I turn around and face south, why do the stars suddenly go clockwise? You turned around.
Yeah, so changing direction doesn't change something from counterclockwise to clockwise.
How come you didn't watch those videos that I posted for you? Because you just keep repeating the same wrong thing about
Same
the
thing.
sky.
Do you have a
You're fucking
job or are you on here
idiotic. Go to fucking house,
24/7?
you fucking moron.
Everyone's talking.
This is my job.
Joining the spiral.
Is everybody all right? It sounds like your guys are having a meltdown in here sometimes.
This is the Flatwater Crisis Center. How can I help you?
Projection.
Yeah, you keep repeating the same wrong thing about the sky. You keep saying, if I'm in the northern hemisphere, it's going to go counterclockwise.
Yep.
No, if you're looking north, it's going to appear counterclockwise. If you look south, it's going to appear clockwise. It don't matter at all.
Oh no, I feel sorry for you.
That's literally what happens. Have you ever looked at the sky before you made this argument?
Yeah, so if you change direction, it doesn't change if it's counterclockwise or clockwise.
Yeah, it does. It does because those are relative directions. It doesn't change direction at all, though. In reality, it just goes east to west. All that happens is it's going from your left to your right or your right to your left, and that's dependent on which way you're standing.
Those are different from clockwise and counterclockwise.
Well, also,
Okay, define
Hasty,
clockwise.
hold on. Hasty, what would your proposal be? Because remember, you gave up on claiming that there was curvature.
Yeah,
so
that's
what's
me.
your
I give up.
explanation?
So 1 second, crit. Sorry, 1 second, Cyclone. So crit. So if you imagine you've just got a ball spinning around your head in real life, right? And the ball's going. Yep, imagine. And the ball's going clockwise, and you're facing north, right? And this ball's going clockwise. If you turn around, will the ball look like it's going counterclockwise?
Yeah, if you turn around,
that's just not true.
Your 12 o'clock changes to
That's
6
not
o'clock.
true.
Oh,
If
surely the flat
you,
earthers can
sorry.
see why that's just fucking wrong.
Surely you
Yeah.
can go outside and look at the sky and see what it does before you repeat the same incorrect thing about it again.
It's one of those things where can you correct yourself on certain things? Can you correct people?
It is one of those things. You need to correct yourself. Look, I'm going to post a video, and I don't want you to bring this up again until you've watched it, okay? Because I've already posted this for you twice, and both times you've ignored it, and you've come back just to repeat the same incorrect thing about the sky again, and it's getting really boring. So watch these videos, then come back and talk to us. Just 1 second.
It's been good because I've seen globalists explain this to globalists, and the other globalists still not get it. It's like somehow some people will never get this. That everything in the sky moves east to west. That direction can change depending on your orientation, if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. I've almost tried to say, what is a perfect combination? Like Eggshells, this guy, I don't know if you came across him before. He drew out diagrams of spokes and axles on a car and which way tires are moving, and if you're in the driver's seat and you're in the passenger seat. And this one dude didn't get it. He's like, "You've got to be fucking with me right now." He goes, "Dude, I think the Earth is a globe just like you. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're sitting in the passenger seat, look at this tire, look at that tire. What do you see?"
But see, this is the cowardly position that they take, right? Because they're too afraid to actually say, "I'm claiming that this is occurring because I'm upside down on a ball," right? They're too afraid to actually make that claim because they've already conceded that they can't make an argument for any curvature. But they want to have a problem with. They want to insinuate that that's what's happening with the stars. But they don't actually have the testicular fortitude to say that's because we're upside down on a ball now. Because then they'll be asked, okay, well, what's your evidence for the ball? And they'll be back to, oh no, okay, you win. Flat earthers win. We can't talk. That weak little feminine bullshit. So
that's the key right there.
Either have the testosterone to make your argument. Tell us that you believe you're upside down on a ball, and that's what's happening with the stars. Or don't make the argument. Simple. So are you saying you're upside down on a ball, Hasty? Is that why I started doing that?
Well, sorry. So, in the video, I will describe what I saw. Well, I don't even know what you said, man. I was watching a video. I will describe what I saw in the video.
Pretending that you're upside down on a ball, right? When the stars change direction, you're assuming that you're upside down on a ball now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck
Okay.
off,
So what
Glock.
was the evidence for the curvature of that ball again?
Well, I'm trying to talk to someone else here. Sorry. Wait, just make sure
Yeah.
Chris.
No
Crit, you there?
doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, that's me
Yeah,
dodging. You got me. Got your moment.
Yeah,
Right
I
now.
know. I
Right,
know. It's
so
obvious. Everyone
yeah,
can
so
hear it.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
Are you
So Crit,
rotating right now?
So Crit. So in that video, right, I'll describe what I saw, and you describe if that's what the video shows. So he's pointing the camera north, right, and the stars are moving clockwise. Yeah.
The stars move east to
No,
west.
that's not what happened.
What? Okay, what happens in
Pointed
the video?
north and they went counterclockwise.
Yeah, that's why I'm not even good. I just want to get to him to admit that the stars are moving.
True.
Right? The stars moving or is the Earth moving? When you watch that video. Hasty, are you there? Did you run?
Yeah. Hold up. So
Okay.
I don't in the video when
Yeah,
he's
you
pointing
fucked
north.
it up. It's okay you fucked it up because the
No,
point
I mean
is.
it's moving. Oh yeah, it's moving. Yeah, right. I got
Yeah, so you didn't really pay attention. So now pay attention. When you watch that video, what's moving?
The Earth.
No, try again.
What's
You
your
see
evidence
what
that it's the
moving?
Earth?
What do you see
what
moving?
do I see moving? The stars.
Okay, there we go. So why would you say that you see the Earth moving when you see the stars moving? That's the crux of the
Stars
issue.
are so far away that it would be as if they were stationary.
How did you measure how far away they are?
Oh shit.
No idea how they measure that. But they're
Exactly.
that far away. Wherever
So
they
you're
are.
just again making claims that you have no evidence for.
Okay. So do you believe, like, if we was to make some
Doesn't matter what we
assumptions, the
believe.
globe model is what it is, right? If there was really far away stars and the Earth was doing all its ridiculous rotations, could those stars still look stationary despite the Earth moving really
Well,
fast?
we don't work on the imaginary. That's what you're trying to do, and we're pointing out how ridiculous it is because you have no evidence.
Yeah,
for
if
it.
you don't want to work with me, it's fine. I get that.
Well, no, Crit was right. He said, "What do we observe moving? The stars." You said, "But it's the Earth." So why are you saying it's the Earth? What's the evidence for that?
Well, I was just asking you a completely different question. I guess it's a dodge, but yeah, I guess.
No, that was the topic.
You know what? Sure, that would be an assumption.
Okay, so did they ever? Has anyone ever measured this assumption and confirmed it?
Yeah, they probably have.
So who did that?
I don't know. I'd have to find it.
So why are you saying, yeah, they probably did if you've no idea? See, this is how we know you're arguing from emotion, not from evidence.
Yeah.
It is, bro. I mean, you can say it like it's not true, but that's obviously what's occurring.
Wait, you believe the Earth is flat?
Oh boy.
Cannon, you got to go away. We've already been through this with
you. Like,
yeah,
the Earth
it's
is
not
not
a belief, homie.
Oh god, this guy's fresh off the boat.
Just got here.
It's fine.
He reset. Look, pay attention to this, okay? When other globalists see the people act this way, look how dumb it looks. This constant resetting to utter confusion over and over and over again. At
I would
least
just like to.
Oh, go ahead, Cycle.
Monologue time.
No, I was just going to say it would just be nice to hear, a claim from the globe side that isn't immediately questioned, and then they say, well, I don't know what the evidence is, but someone's probably got it. These are just like claims that people are making, and they don't know why they're making them, other than they've heard it. This is what we just keep seeing. So has anyone got any actual evidence for these assumptions? Curvature, motion of the Earth. Has anyone measured any of that? Where is this coming from?
May I interject and ask a couple questions actually? As the
okay.
But I don't want to interrupt if there's already a conversation going on. So
No, you're all right.
It was, but it was just going on forever.
Okay, cool. A little earlier today, I had actually was chatting and I was talking about how when you approach the mountains from the prairies and how you can only see the tops of them. I don't know if there's anyone here who was in that conversation. Does that ring any bells for anyone? It was a couple hours ago, I think. No. Okay.
No, but we've heard it all, so we'll know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll just bring it up again and actually ask you the question. So when I am driving on the prairies or in the prairies and approaching the mountains, and I can only see the tip top of the mountain, and I can't see the rest of the mountain. What is the reason for that in your model?
Someone want to take the obstruction? I feel like I've already spoken.
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah, when I mean I was not quite paying attention to it, but I guess your whole thing is that you're talking about that you think the curve of the earth, you've got a hump of earth in between you and whatever target you're looking at, right?
The mountain, yeah.
Okay. Or a mountain. So there it is. That's your answer. A mountain.
No, I can.
No, he's
So I'm
asking why
driving
he
in the
only sees the
prairies.
top of it. He's
I
asking
only
about
see
the
the
bottom
tip
of
of
the
the mountain. Yeah.
obstruction.
So you've got a hump. Okay, that's why I was on the right track then. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
it confused me when you gave me the wrong feedback. So you're standing at point A,
Yep.
and you're looking at point B, and in between you see a hump of earth blocking your path.
Well, I'm trying to understand what is blocking my path to that mountain when I can only see the top of the mountain. I assume it's the hump.
The hump, yeah. So how would you look at that? How would you figure that out?
With geometry,
And then what do you get?
that there's got to be something obstructing my view because I can't see the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, would that result be repeatable? Like it'd be the same amount of hump every time you look, or would it change throughout the day?
Well, it depends on the atmospheric conditions, of course.
Okay, so we're good. We got a variable now. Now we got atmospheric conditions. Okay, what else do you got?
That would be the big one.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything else. No.
But angular resolution.
Not if it's the same mountain top.
Let me. Can I just quickly jump in? I know I shouldn't. But
oh, you go, bro.
So, Chansey, have you ever done any like perspective art?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know when you see a perspective diagram, it's like everything's crushing towards a vanishing point?
Yep.
Right. So.
But everything is equidistantly. It's all crushed. Like if you look at railroad tracks,
right?
they'll converge at the. Yeah.
You're right, but if you're in like a hotel hallway or a very long flat surface, if you put your phone down or your eye, like your head, down to the ground, and you have someone walk away from you over that flat surface, you'll start to see their feet disappearing up to their knees and up to their hips, and it's a function of perspective, right? Are you on our server 247 Flat Earth Discord?
I can't get into that thing.
No.
Right. If you can't get in, you're probably banned.
Can someone post the link to
It's in my profile. It's in my profile.
It's in mine as well.
Yeah, it says I'm not banned, but it's like fucking still can't get in. It's gay.
Yeah, you got to get verified just to make sure you don't believe in like particles.
Oh shit! No, those are bad.
Stop strawman.
Right. Sorry, I'm speaking to Chansey here. If anyone's having an issue getting into the server, send us your user ID and we'll see if you're banned or whatever. But Chansey, have you joined the server? Because there's a channel that can give you some information on this.
Where are you pointing the link? I don't see the link to the server.
In my bio, you'll see it in my bio. It's just flat Earth at the end, the vanity link. One word, flat Earth.
Can I just post the link in the chat?
No, I've not. I posted it in chat the other day and then deleted it, bro, because it's technically advertising on our server. I wasn't able to wind the mods up.
It's okay. I just got it. It was posted really quick, and I just joined it really quick. So
oh, nice, Chansey. You're on it. See, there you go. This is what we're looking for. Some fast action. Okay. So if you scroll like 3/4 of the way down the server list, you'll see there's an additional information section. It's all alphabetized. It's got things like Antarctica, astronauts, curvature, motion. Do you see all these different channels?
Additional information, A to L? Yeah.
Yes. So go down to O.
Oh, okay.
And go to optics, vision, perspective.
Optics, vision, perspective. Alrighty.
Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff in there. You'll see if they've got one quickly that goes through perspective.
Philosophy of color.
If you scroll up, you'll see a bunch of different videos and all. There's a few demonstrations in there that show that we can observe obstruction on the surface.
Sorry, you were kind of cutting out there.
I'm just saying, if you look through that channel, you'll see a bunch of different examples. Obstruction.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it when I have a chance.
I'll post you a quick one in the chat. This voice channel, just a quick meme, but it's basically giving you the idea of what's going on. The lower angular resolution limit, since the optic is closer to the ground, that being the smallest angle. The bottom objects is what disappears first, but it can happen on a flat surface. It doesn't necessitate a curved surface. But yeah, you can take a look through that channel, and there's a lot of stuff on perspective that's obviously playing a role why we're seeing things the way we do. And actually, do you know what's interesting? The mathematics of the globe that they've given us. So the distance to the geometric horizon, the mathematics is just so happens to be the same as the mathematics for the angular resolution limit of our eye, which is essentially the limit of our vision. So they've almost backwards engineered the optical limit of our eyes and told us that that limit is due to a physical curve. But in reality, it's the optical limit for the surface. It's a bit more advanced, but you might get that one. We'll see.
Now that's interesting. Like I look at this and it's interesting. The perspective looks different. So you're saying the closer you are to the ground, perspective acts differently?
Well, no, just that the first thing you'll see potentially, I mean, this is all, it depends on atmo conditions, what it is you're looking at. But in general, yeah, you can put your eye down to a table and pull an object away from you over that table, and you'll see the bottom of the object start to disappear first, and then it will gradually go up. That's a function of perspective. It's not flat Earth perspective or whatever. This is just a function of perspective when the optic is low to the ground. And it's the same. So if you look, it's a bit annoying to post it from one server to the other.
So
but
how
if you bear with
does
me for a
that
second.
scale?
Translate because overall, we as 6 foot tall humans on the surface of Earth, it's like we're right on the surface. We're pretty low down as far as it goes. So look at this. Let me show you something quickly. So in the text chat, this is a zoom of someone who's moved a coin to the end of a table, right? And you see it in the video before. I've posted it earlier in the chat. You can see it. But he's dragged a coin that you could see at the beginning. I'll just post you the first one just so you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to post you another one that's going to be a comparison to what we see on Earth. Just bear with me 1 second.
Here I am applying forces all over the country, and you're carrying a location beacon in your pocket.
So for this to work, does your eye is that the center of the lens?
How have you seen a light? Well, all you guys have playing and aiming and
Right. So if you look at the coin zoom that I posted above, and then you look at this bottom one that I've just posted, it's the same thing, right? The boat is not visible until we zoom in, and then we can resolve it. So what we're told in school and in the mainstream is that when the boat's disappearing, it's because it's going over a curve. But then if we pull out a camera and we zoom in and we can see the boat, then obviously it means that it hasn't gone behind a curve.
Right.
It's disappeared for another reason.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Now I'm wondering, this video where the individual has moved the coin away, did they then at the end of it try zooming the camera in to see if it brought it back into view?
Yeah, so that was the first GIF that I posted just above it. I did it in reverse order, but the first GIF, you see it zoom it.
Yeah.
That's part of one clip. And it's the same with the boat, right? So it doesn't look like it's resolvable. But when he zooms in, It's resolvable. Same with the boats over the water.
So my question for you then is, if I'm looking at the top of the mountain and I pull out a telescope to increase the zoom, based on what I'm seeing here, I should be able to see more of the mountain by using the
If it's
telescope.
actually, if it's not topography blocking that mountain, then
Right.
theoretically you should be able to resolve more of the mountain, depending on what the elevation profile is and the atmospheric conditions of the day. Because it's not just perspective, right? You're dealing with particulates in the air. Air
Sure.
itself is not totally transparent. It's like water, right? So when you go underwater, you can maybe see like 10 feet. Because over a distance, the water builds up and obscures your view. The air is similar, but just a lot thinner.
So my question is, okay, that's cool. I think I understand what you're saying. Now, if I were to view something with my naked eye, and there's some refraction, right? Would that refraction be the same if I look at something through a telescope or binoculars? Or would it be a different refraction? Like, would the angular resolution, it wouldn't be the same, would it?
I'm not too sure what you're asking. Restate that.
Sure. So if I look at something and so again, say the top of the mountains, and I look at it with my eye, and then right beside that, I have a telescope. So I'm looking through the same atmospheric conditions through both the camera, or sorry, my eye and the telescope. The refraction should have the same impact on both of us, right? Like on the camera or on my eye and the telescope, should it not?
Well, define what you mean by refraction.
Well, I'm just wanting to make sure that the variables, the atmospheric variables, are the same whether I
Yeah,
with
but
my
because you're
eye or
using
with
a
the
more
telescope,
powerful lens, you could
right?
still see. Well, you're gonna have a zoomed image, so you're gonna be able to see more detail because it's a larger aperture angular limit. But it's still, every lens has a limit, right? There's no lens that doesn't have a angular resolution limit.
So if I do that, I should be able to see more detail, or not more detail, but more of the mountain top, right?
If you're
Not
looking
just
at
more
it
detailed.
through, well, it depends what you mean by more.
More elevation.
So, like further down the mountain, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Otherwise, something's blocking my view of the rest of the mountain.
Yeah, like I said, if it's not topography, it's blocking your view of the mountain, and you were to like zoom in with a zoom camera or something and record it, if it's the flat surface all the way, then yeah, arguably you should be able to see.
Or if there is topography, but it's far enough away that it won't actually impact the mountain. Because I mean, you've got your foothills and then your mountains, and those are like almost 1,000 meters difference.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.